Back to straight facts. I'm joined by Lee Gunner. It's Tuesday. Lots to delve into. Big transfers. Arsenal, done deal. We're going to be talking about that on the show. Balogun leaving as well. Maybe a transfer request on the way from Mo Salah. CBS today reporting that Salah wants to move to Saudi Arabia. We're looking at maybe one of the biggest transfer coups of the summer, with Chelsea coming in for Emil Smith-Rowe. The first approach rejected today, but Chelsea expected to come back in. Man United going after a midfield European powerhouse in Hojbjerg as well. We're going to be talking about that on the show and getting Lee's review on Arsenal's performance this weekend and a little look ahead at Arsenal versus Manchester United. The big game, the Premier League's biggest game, in my opinion, the biggest game of the ages that's coming up this weekend. Viewers, smash like buttons, please. Get that done right now. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Plus, I've got a video later exposing Lee.
I'm exposed.
He'll be getting exposed, so stay.
The amount of times I've been exposed, mate, you'd think I'd set up an OnlyFans.
Bro, yeah, I can start calling you Nina.
Hey, Leanne. Just call me Leanne, mate.
You know what? Listen, I'm not even a massive fan of Dylan Dennis. I'm not a massive fan
video
of Logan Paul.
He uploaded the whole clip.
I can't imagine how Logan must be feeling, bro. All that, bless his heart, mate. Big up.
F him.
I want him to beat Dylan Dennis, though. I really do. I want to start today with Mo Salah. We're going to get to the juicier stuff later, maybe, but Mo Salah, 4 days running now, this news keeps coming out. £150 million bid expected from Saudi for him. And reportedly he's agreed personal terms, £350,000 per day on a 2-year deal. Plus he earns a big percentage of anyone who subscribes to be in sport in Egypt. And he is open to that move. Do you think he's going to put a request in? Do you think he's going to push for this move over the next couple of days? Or do you see him staying at Liverpool?
No, he's going to do it, man. He's going to do it. And that's not me with an agenda. Oh, the Liverpool fans will start crying now. Yeah, that's not me with an agenda. I think he's doing it. Yeah, I think he's doing it. He's probably looking at Liverpool thinking, well, we ain't going to win the league. We ain't even in the Champions League. Yeah, this is life-changing money. Yeah, it sorts his family, his generational wealth. Excuse me. And, I think he's going to do it. I genuinely think he will put a request in. Yeah, not today, maybe tomorrow, or deadline day. Yeah, if I'm him, I'm flying to Saudi now. And I'm saying, I ain't coming back, mate, so you got to do the deal. Like, Peter Odemwingie style. I think he will do it, though. If he doesn't, I think he'll regret it. Because they ain't going to win anything. Let's just be real with it. They're not very good. Yeah, they're not very good. They ain't going to win anything. So why wouldn't you leave? Yeah, you're in your like, he's at what, 31? I think he's 31. Yeah, so he's 31. He's got a couple of years left at the top level. But if he goes Saudi, he's got 3-4 years left. Yeah, and it's mad money, £200 million a season. Mate, you've only got to be there for 1 year and you're caked forever. Yeah, it's mad money, mate. And then if he's getting the subscriptions from beIN Sport Egypt, and like they'll do a deal. He will be the biggest name out there. Yeah, that's because he's Muslim. It's a Muslim country. Yeah, I know Benzema and all these other players are out there and Ronaldo, but he will be the biggest one out there. Yeah, them stadiums will be rammed to see Mohamed Salah.
They most certainly were. A few people are saying it's not beIN Sport, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm only going by what Mo said the other day on the show, who's Egyptian. Whoever the Egyptian broadcasters are that will be playing the Saudi Pro League, he'll be getting a percentage of that. Splitting hairs over what name that company is a completely irrelevant element of this conversation. I think both him and Liverpool would be crazy to not get a deal done. A few Liverpool fans have said in a year's time he'll be worth as much money. I don't think he will. Every year older he gets, the fee drops down. Liverpool should be using between now and Friday to work out where they spend this money. Whether it's a stopgap move for somebody like a Rafinha in the short term or an Eze in the short term and then spend that big money come January, I think they should look at doing it. Liverpool haven't invested in their midfield. They haven't invested in their defense. Liverpool cannot win the Premier League and they cannot win the Champions League this season. They're not even in it. So keeping Mo Salah, I think they can make the top. If they buy a good replacement, they can make top 5 Champions League football without him. They're not going to go any better than that. Yes, he might bring a few more goals on a new signing. He's Mo Salah, he's brilliant. But I think if they're smart between now and Friday, they could negotiate 150, maybe a little bit more, get his wages off their books, reinvest that money into a top defender, a top midfielder, and a quality attacker, and maybe even create a better team than what they have keeping Mo Salah. And I know it's all very last minute. I get it's a little bit last minute, but if Liverpool had anything about them, they would look at this and go, are we going to get in a year's time, 2 years' time, this much money for Mo Salah again? Most likely not, you know? So I think, and plus, listen, they've already got 100 million to spend already. Suddenly you'd have 250 million pounds to spend in a few days. You could literally go out and buy almost anybody you wanted in those top positions. You could go and take a top centre-back, another top midfielder or two, and the top attacker. Well, you think theoretically they could inquire about Mbappe, but they could go out there and buy 3 or 4 top quality players between now and the end of the window and have a better squad than leaving it as it is and just adding in a Decore and keeping it as is. They really could. And I actually think as well, Liverpool fans, you shouldn't panic. This notion that if your best player leaves, you fall apart, I think can be a fallacy. We've already seen, and it's only 3 games in, West Ham look better than last year without Declan Rice. And Spurs look better without Harry Kane. As long as you've got a manager who can adjust, and as long as you buy players that counterbalance the exit, you'll be okay. Now, Spurs still need to bring in another goal scorer, but not been shy of goals so far. They've scored, is it 2 in every game so far? Maybe 1. Yeah. So that's not bad return. They still need a better striker potentially with that money. West Ham, they didn't bring anybody in as good as Declan Rice, but bringing in Ward-Prowse, what's his name, Alvarez and Kudus. As 3 players coming in, they're probably stronger now than they were with Declan Rice. So, listen, I think they should look at it. Liverpool, the player definitely should. As you say, this is beyond wealthy. This is super rich territory, you know. And I spent some time in Monaco once when I was working for Barclays, and that's not full of rich people. That is full of super rich people that make rich people look poor. Pound for pound, it's crazy. And especially as Mo Salah uses so much of his money to better the lives of others, what he could do with those funds, especially for his home nation of Egypt, is huge. As you say, 350,000 a day tax-free. So in one day, he earns more than he would earn in...
We've done it all wrong, mate. We've done it all wrong, haven't we? Why weren't we any good at football, Terry?
I don't know. Not even that. My mum did it wrong. Why didn't she marry a Saudi guy? Why did she marry a Saudi guy? That's what my mum should have done. And then I wouldn't even need to play football.
Pops is in the mud right now. Pops is in the mud. Yeah, Terry's just dashed his dad straight in the bin.
I know. Instead of going to the Middle East on holiday, my mum was pissing off down to the Isle of Wight where she met my dad. Jesus Christ. Ruined it. But yeah, it's crazy. Someone says free house and cars too. Yeah, listen, and that stuff is 10 a penny to the wealth that the Saudis have. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it could happen. Let's have a little look here at some of these comments. If they're not related to this subject, we'll save them for later. Lee and Terry, absolutely world class. Love the show. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the lovely compliment. Lee exposing little Lee. That's an interesting one. Cash in on Salah is what Mr. Beehive has got to say here. Yeah, listen, I think they should. Terry, can you play the Lee Gunner clip, please? Maybe later if you're lucky. A little
Lee
bit later.
Gunner exposed. I'm exposed from a clip from 5 years ago. Yay.
Damn, Cristiano CR7 left to Saudi and the whole world has followed him. Football truly revolves around him. I mean, there's an element of truth to that. The guy that runs the Saudi league has said that the viewing figures went up 400% after he signed, which is crazy. But we knew it would. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. That's why the big money comes in from a man like him.
650%.
Sorry? 650%
it went up.
Oh, wow. I thought it was only 400%.
Yeah, 650.
And with Benzema joining and Neymar and Verratti,
and all these top players, man.
So Judge Mo, that's part of Never a Foul that comes on the Terrace, he's Egyptian. He was basically explaining how very few people in Egypt subscribe to the channel. He said it was beIN Sport. It may not be, but he said it was beIN Sport in Egypt to watch the Saudi Pro League. He said there's 100 million people that live there, and it's anticipated that if Mo Salah joins that league, anywhere between 25 to 50 million people could subscribe to watch it.
Yeah,
suddenly the eyes on that and that's one nation. Imagine the amount of Brazilians watching because of Neymar, the amount of people that are not just Portuguese but love Cristiano Ronaldo.
The Algerians because of Mahrez. It's
mate,
crazy.
All the people from Sunderland watching Henderson. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so
hey, mate,
many people.
I'm doing watch-alongs for him. I need that money, mate. I need that money. Yeah, I'm doing watch-alongs and everything. Yeah, my boy Mahrez is playing tonight, too. So yeah, we're on.
I hear you. Keeping Salah feels like a comfort cushion. You say comfort cushion in Denmark. We say comfort blanket, but I hear you. Because I say sell now and get an attacking midfielder, a left-sided centre-back, and maybe a DM more. But that's exactly it, bro. And you could break some heart. Listen, go and get. This is off the top of my head. Mark Gahey improves your back line as an example. Maybe I know Decore also plays for them as well, but you got Decore. Amrabat is still available. Eze is available. As an example, I think for the right money, you could go and get yourself Rafinha on that right-hand side. You throw those players into your team now, Liverpool are better than if you just keep Mo Salah and buy no one else. You become a better footballing team. You should also look at another right-back as well. You massively need one at Liverpool.
Mate. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, my days. The way Gordon dissected that guy was a joke. And that's where they messed up. Yeah, they took him off. It's like, why are you taking him off? The guy's a red card waiting to happen.
Eddie Howe bottled the living daylights.
Yep.
Bottled the living daylights out of that game. In fact, the whole of Newcastle as a city did. And I've said this on a number of shows. I'm going to keep drumming this out.
Terry's causing a war with the Geordies.
I'm sorry. Listen, I respect them as a football club, genuinely do. And I've been one of the few rivals that's had not one bad word to say about them since the takeover. But I remember the game kicked off. I'm sitting there watching it, and I turn my TV up quite loud to watch football. I love the noise.
Do you remember you texted me?
Yeah, I did text you. Said Liverpool are shit, aren't they? Because they were looking, but that was 30 minutes in, and they were looking crap. But what I was seeing is like the crowd wasn't. They cheered for the goal, they cheered for the red card, but they were nervous the whole game. And Liverpool fed upon the nervousness of those fans. The manager reacted poorly and made the wrong decisions, and the players, were rabbits in headlights. And it was a great win for Liverpool. But listen. I said it after the game. There were people that were Klopp out a week ago going, oh, I love my team. I think we can challenge. When you guys are being titter-painted. You're being titter-painted. It's a great word from the Bambi films. Titter-painted by your love for your club and a win, and you're not seeing the wood for the trees. I think Thumper used that word in Bambi.
But that's what fans do, man. Yeah, one win. Yeah, and it's all about what the vibe is after the game. If they had lost that game, yeah, Klopp out. FSG are a disgrace. But they won it. And it was a mad ending. Yeah, Noodles comes on, scores 2. Great finishes, by the way, both of them. Yeah, the first one was sick. Yeah, that was a sick finish, man. But they won the game. So now their emotional vibe at the end of that game is, oh, my God, we've just beaten a top team. Rah, rah, rah. So now it's all great again. Then they'll go and lose their next game, and it's all back in the dumps again, isn't it? Yeah, and this is why. Yeah, this is why football clubs take the mick out of people. Yeah, because it's based on game-to-game scenario. Yeah, and that is why FSG don't go above and beyond, which is why Liverpool are in this mess in the first place.
Couldn't agree with you more, mate. I think you're absolutely spot on in what you say there. I really do. They follow the money, not Cristiano Ronaldo. Look, no one actually believes it's just because of Cristiano Ronaldo, but of course these fanboys will. He's a part of it. Big up, guys. Hope all is good. Yeah, Carl, my end. Lovely, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to get onto Arsenal later, but Akil, who's a Chelsea fan, I think Akil's a Chelsea fan. He says, big up, Lee. You are the most level-headed Arsenal fan I've seen. Always speak facts, unlike most of the deluded Arsenal fans. SG says, when Lee speaks, I listen. When Rory speaks, I mute. Is what he said to say.
Big up SG, man.
He's got 2 years left on his contract. Gimme 185 million, and that's what you got to negotiate. Maybe you can get more than 150. Imagine you can get 160, 170, 180. You could literally go and buy nearly anybody in the world for that kind of money. I honestly think with that money plus 100 million you've got, you could go, right, boom, there's 60 million pound, get Rafinha. You knock on the door of Real Madrid and go, there's 115, 120 million, we want Tchouaméni. You could get him for that kind of money. You can turn heads. 130, 140, you could break records and bring him in.
They ain't selling to Liverpool, mate. No chance.
Mate, I'm just saying, you can try it.
No, they've got the dough, if that happens, to get anyone. It's just whether they want to go to Liverpool and live in Liverpool. Yeah, and that's the problem they have as a club.
I do get that. Let me ask you a question, though. You're running Arsenal Football Club. They sell Salah for 180 million and knock on the door. We want to buy Bukayo Saka. There's 130 million pound. What do you do?
I'll take it. Yeah, if somebody comes and knocks and says 130, 140, I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm taking it. Because there's players out there that can do the role. Yeah, maybe not as good as him, because he is very good. We know this. Yeah, but I'm taking it all day long. Yeah, and let's be real here, right? He's just signed a new contract. But if we don't win anything in the next year, 2 years, he's going to be leaving anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and we've seen many, many times, like you said, with Kane leaving, Tottenham don't look worse, do they?
No.
And they're not, and they're going to play like that all season. So, yeah, I'm taking the money, mate. Yeah, the same with Smith-Rowe. I know we're going to get on Smith-Rowe in a bit, but I'll be doing the same with that.
Well, that's what I would say to Liverpool fans. Like, as much as it's, no, we can't lose him, I know why you're very attached to Mo Salah. He's your greatest ever Premier League football player, bar none. There isn't a player that's played for your club in the Premier League who's been as good as him and achieved more than him. And you can't name one. You can't name and if the chat can tell me a Premier League player for Liverpool who has achieved more, got better outputs, and has performed at his level or performed higher level than this man. Tell me a Liverpool player who's done more than him.
Van Dijk, Alisson.
I'd accept those two. But outside of those two, that's it. He is literally your best Premier League player ever. Why John Terry? What's John Terry got to do with Liverpool?
That man's gone full kit again, trying to claim Liverpool trophies.
Gerrard was amazing. And you could argue Gerrard's a better football player. But he did not deliver more for Liverpool than Mo Salah has. Facts. He hasn't. That's not a dig at him. That is praising Mo Salah. So I know why you're attached to him. Suarez didn't win anything, so he didn't achieve anywhere near what Salah's done. Salah's left him for dust, brother. Dust. Anybody dust? Dust. He's gone. Dust.
That's dust. Britain, isn't it? Dust.
Yeah. If you want to lose weight, give up the cake, eat dust. You never make that now. Mane was very good. Not, in my opinion, better than Mohamed Salah. But listen, again, that's a fair one. But Gerrard, Suarez, Alonso, none of these guys, they all achieve good things. Nowhere near this man's level. So I get why you're attached to him. I get why you love him. I get why you don't want him to leave. Take the money. Buy Saka. Buy Rafinha.
Take the
Go
money.
get someone brilliant. I hear you on it.
Yeah?
I hear you.
If they offer anywhere near 120, 140, 160, whatever, yeah, they got to take it, mate. Yeah, because they ain't getting that again. Yeah, there's nobody going to buy him for 160, 140, whatever it may be. Nobody's doing that again in the summer. Yeah, it would then be 32 next year. You ain't getting that money. 1 year left on this contract. You ain't getting 140, 160. Take it now.
No, mate, I completely agree. Kevin here says, I like Lee getting some early love in the chat. Hopefully it'll ease the inevitable smashing later.
Yeah, this is what Terry does. He eases me in gently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, pause. Yeah, pause.
Yeah. Relax, bro. Jesus. You're so desperate for Salah to leave. It's crazy. Salah is like an abusive father to United fans. No wonder you, man, want separation from him. Yeah, look, listen, as a Man United fan, you're probably right. The same as the reason that most young Liverpool fans, like my club ruined during most Liverpool fans' childhoods, young adolescence, wedding days, first child's being born for a 30-year period. You know, Man United were ruining Liverpool lives. So I agree with you. There is part of me that's desperate to see him leave. But when I'm being objective, I said the same thing about Kane leaving Tottenham. It's this, you've got to look at the age and what you could reinvest the money into. And this notion, I've seen it so many times in the game before, if we lose our best player, we're finished. You're not. Unless you fail to reinvest, you're not finished. Somebody else will pick up that mantle. We've seen it many times at other great clubs. How did Real Madrid keep winning when they've lost great players? But they keep winning. You know, City lost Aguero and company. They've carried on winning. You think City are going to drop off? There'll be a drop off a bit when Pep goes, but their drop off will just be, they'll be a bit more human. They're still going to challenge and be up there because the club won't allow them to drop. So yeah, it's not really about that for me. 130 million for Saka, not a chance with how high the market is. 15 million more than Caicedo, not even close enough, is what Colton says here.
How much is he worth? I see somebody in the chat saying in this market 250. Like, come on, do me a favour. The guy's never played in the Champions League in his life.
I'd love Saka at Man United, though.
Oh, Saka's class. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. Yeah, but let's just be real with this. Yeah, Chelsea way overpaid for Caicedo because Brighton pulled their pants down. Yeah, that don't mean Saka isn't worth 130. Yeah, just because they paid 115 for him.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to come and put 130 on the table for Saka?
Well, no, not right now. I think because he's so married to Arsenal. But this is the thing. Nobody is not for sale. And I'll say that now about all of our players or all of our clubs. If enough money was offered, our owners would say yes. The manager would say yes. If a player was offered enough money to go and a big enough package, anyone's head can be turned for the right money, for the right package.
Mate, look at Benzema. Yeah, 350 million quid. Adios, amigo. Yeah, gone. Yeah. Like, if you put the money on the table, and this is why when people say, oh, yeah, but who's available? Everyone's available if you've got a wallet, mate. Yeah, get your checkbook out.
No, mate, I hear you completely. This here says, do you remember when Liverpool lost at St. James's Park in 2015? I don't remember that game, to be honest with you. He says, I don't know why many people predicted they were going to smash us. Yeah, I thought it was weird. Again, you've got to look at the inferiority complex that Newcastle has with Liverpool. And I guarantee this, if that game on Sunday was against United or Arsenal, Newcastle win, or Spurs, they win 3 or 4-0. But because it was against Liverpool, that's one of their teams that got a voodoo over them. Yeah, it's in the head. Sport is all about mentality. Had Liverpool had the foresight 3 months ago, they could have got 200 plus million. Yeah, listen, and this is it. You know, maybe they should have done this sooner, got it done, and then gone after somebody. But there's still time to get these deals done. There is still time. There really is. Keep Salah, Liverpool 2nd, Arsenal 3rd, United 7th. Liverpool not coming 2nd this season. Let me just tell you that now. That defense is still leaking opportunities like a broken fridge. You're not coming 2nd. You know, unless the bars drop so low, a second place team's getting mid 60, low 70 points. And I just don't see it this season. I just don't personally see it. Some players are priceless to teams, i.e. Salah and Saka. I don't think anybody's priceless. There's always a price that you can be offered for somebody. In my personal opinion,
there's always a price, mate. Benzema was going to retire at Madrid. Yeah, 350 million a year waved in front of him. Yeah, I'm going Saudi, mate. And then he's got the audacity to sit there and go, well, I've always wanted to play in a Muslim country. Yeah, nothing to do with the 350 million you dropped in the bank, but
yeah. I mean, this is a Messi rejected Saudi. Some people don't worship money. No, but he is being paid 54 million a year still in America. Like, he hasn't gone, I don't want any money, I'm playing for free. He just wanted to go and experience America. So
he's smashing it as well, by the way.
And by the way, he's killing. He really is taking the piss. But I actually see in a year or two's time, I think he might go then go and play there because he'll still be. Well, yes and no. If Saudis keep buying this quality of player consistently, he won't be good enough for that league in 2 years' time because the standard will raise and whatever else.
No, Terry. Yeah, as long as that guy is living and breathing, he's the best footballer ever. Yeah, he could be 55 years old, not played football for 20 years, right? Yeah, and he would still be the best footballer in the world.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to seeing Messi play? Because I reckon they'll get him one day for it. Soccer Aid. They'll get him one day for it. They'll get him one day. Lee, I thought I was the only one thinking we should sell Saka. Surprised to find someone had the same thinking as me. We should replace him with Sterling.
Oh, it was going so well, mate. You mentioned Sterling.
By the way, viewers, keep hitting them like buttons for us as well, please. Vicky here, Victoria, the Leeds fan, says, Terry, shut up.
Bless you, darling.
Lee, strengthen your bench.
Our bench is mad. I can't lie.
How much do you bench?
Do I look like our bench? I'm a lover, Terry.
Someone asked me the other day who would win in a charity boxing fight between me and you.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, mate.
I said that. I said I would destroy him, but Lee ain't a fighter, so it's not. I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean?
I look like I'm built for fighting.
Someone asked me once about Mark Goldbridge. I said, "Would you fight Mark Goldbridge in a charity thing?" I said, "No," because Mark Goldbridge is like, there's nothing about him that's like it. It's not just. It'd be like I don't even mean it rudely. No,
fighting me.
Yeah, like it's I'd never do. I mean, I wouldn't actually do one anyway. I'm 40. I'm coming up 40. Well, 37, but like, I'm the wrong side of 35 now, and I don't want to get back in a ring. I don't want to get back on the mats, but no, I certainly wouldn't be fighting Lee for the right money, maybe. You know what I mean? Everything's
if it's set up in Saudi, mate, we can do it.
If some Saudi prince says £5 million to fight Lee, I am breaking your nose, bro. I'm smashing you for that money. It's happening, but
you'll be chasing me around the ring. Yeah, and I'll just jab here and there.
Yeah, when I'm out of breath because I'm so fat, oh no, I'm gone. Debbie here says, as a Barca fan, I can't believe this is the Liverpool that beat us. The drop-off is real.
Yep.
It's very true.
I told you, Debbie, yeah? Xavi's getting sacked this season. Yeah? Bookmark it, put it in the file somewhere. He's getting sacked this season. Yeah? By the way, that negative haram ball and all of that manager, Don Simeone, won 7-0 last night against a team that hadn't conceded a goal in their first 2 games. Away from home, 6 different goal scorers. But apparently he plays negative football, innit?
There we go. 130 million to replace a 21-year-old young right midfield star with who? I'm asking Levy to take that amount of money. Some would listen, 170, 180. Listen, I'd try.
People that say yeah. So you can say 130 is not enough, but 230 might be. You'd say yeah at 230, you know.
I mean, when we didn't lose at St James's Park for 8 years, and why is Lee always talk crap? I saw a clip saying Gakpo and Diaz will flop 100%. Well,
please do explain to me what exactly they have done since they've been here, mate. Because one of them's been injured non-stop since he's been here. Yeah. Right. And since you signed them both, yeah, you had your worst season since Klopp's first season. So I don't get that. Yeah, you finished where? 5th? When was the last time you finished outside the top 4? It was Klopp's first season, right?
Yep.
Well, there you go then. So they're flopping.
It certainly was. This here says Varane out for 6 weeks. Has that been confirmed, Alps?
Oh, Johnny Evans back in the team. Jeez. We moved, baby. We'll come back to more of these super chats in a bit, but that kind of brings us on to the. I mean, Man United have been linked to some mad players in the last few days, and Hugh Gooners been calling me out a bit. No, not Gooners, United fans. Oh, you were really happy with the window a few weeks ago. I was when we'd signed Hojbjerg and Onana, and Højlund and Højlund and Onana, and the big reports were saying like, we're about to sell these other players, and we're going to bring in Amrabat and Gravenberch, and we're looking at Todibo. I was excited, but we've gone from that to we might be signing Marcus Bloody Alonso, Johnny Evans on a 1-year deal, keeping Maguire, and now we're linked to Hojbjerg. Hey, mate, Marcus Alonso might be one of the most decorated players at your club, mate, so don't worry about that.
He's shit.
Well, he's better than Luke Shaw.
Bro, that's not hard at times. And listen, I read a report, and it hasn't been confirmed yet, that he's got degenerative muscles in his leg around the bone that broke, which means he's done. Right? The fact, and I said to him,
Cancelo as well, so he's definitely leaving.
Yeah, listen, it's crazy to me, but Hojbjerg as a player, what are you saying?
Right, he's all right. He's not great. He's Tottenham level. Yeah, they're happy not to win anything. He'll look good after the season. He'll look crap after the season. So one day may be good, one day may be shit. He's not a Man United player. If you're actually serious about challenging him to win major honours, Hojbjerg is not the guy. Yeah, He's not the guy. But neither's Scott McTominay. Yeah, neither's Harry Maguire. Neither's Luke Shaw. Neither's Marcus Rashford. Yeah, neither's Anthony. So you can all cry about the signing if you sign him. You can all cry about Marcus Alonso or the C-Tech Hugh Wizzy from Chelsea, Cucurella. Yeah, you can all cry about these signings, Tagliafico and all of that. Bro, you got bigger problems than signing a left back, mate. Issues.
Mate, I agree. And this is where people annoy me on socials. Because, like, well, you said you were really happy with what we were doing. Yeah, that was a month ago, maybe longer, 6 weeks ago, that tweet. And since, and the way the reports in Italy came out, the way Fabrizio spoke about the Amrabat deal and the closeness to the likes of McTominay and Maguire leaving, at that point felt really, you thought, okay, we've got 5-6 weeks of the window left. Maguire looks like he's going West Ham. There's bids coming in for McTominay. Fred's already gone. We're going to get Amrabat. Then we're going to look at another midfielder. Then we're going to try and raise some more funds and bring in a centre-back. No centre-back, no new midfielders. And as you say, now we're suddenly focusing on a position which, if Luke Shaw's out for a long time, it becomes a focus. But we're looking at bang average players in that area, barring Rico Henry. We've been linked to Rico Henry. Now, again, bring me in Rico Henry, and I think that's not a bad piece of business. But suddenly we haven't filled priority roles. We're weak in certain areas. If Varane is out, that means Lindelof or Maguire is now playing, especially with Luke Shaw being out, and we're not going to progress enough.
Jordy Evans. No, you're sorted, mate. You're good. You're good to go. Yeah, you're good to go. Listen.
We're done.
Look what you did to Fergie.
We would tread water this year if we don't make the signings that we need. We would tread water. Might make top 5. Could nick another.
Sorry, this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing, right? The way this transfer window has gone for your fan base is insane. Because I could see it a mile off. Yeah, you really want a player? Bang, Mason Mount's in. Why are you haggling over 20 million quid for Amrabat? Like, you clearly don't want him. Because if you wanted him, you've got 20 million quid to buy him. Right?
And that's why I've turned around, and I said in the video this morning, this is where Man United fans have got to drop their agendas, and we need the human race to become less polarized. And we're gonna no, I know, right? Because you've got to be able to balance yourself, because there are elements of this that is on Erik ten Hag, because I think he should have gone and got Gravenberch and Amrabat before Mount, but you could be very right. Maybe he just doesn't. If he now goes for Hojbjerg, then that, even if he was negotiating for Amrabat, which I believe he was, he rates Hojbjerg more. Hojbjerg's probably going to be more expensive than Amrabat. So if he goes and drops 35 million now, 40 million on Hojbjerg, then we know it was nonsense briefing from the club that we had to buy to sell before getting Amrabat. And that's partly on the club for not go and get Hojbjerg. If Hojbjerg's who you want, go and get him earlier still. Give him a pre-season with us. I'm not a massive fan of him. I don't think he's a trash player. I think he's in that McFred level. He's in that area. So like I've said, all the players we're linked with, I don't think are dirt. I don't think are going to regress us. But I don't think we're going to improve by the levels that we need to go to the next standard. We can still make top 4. We might nick a trophy still, which is good. But it isn't progression on last year, and I want more progression. So I'm looking at my manager and who he's signed, what he has pushed for, what he lands in the end. Because for me, again, I think Amrabat is twice the player that Hojbjerg is. I think Gravenberch technically is far superior. They're bigger and they're stronger and they're more combative, and I think they're better football players.
If you're going down that route of going for these dead midfielders, you might as well keep McTominay. Like, real talk, you might as well keep him. Yeah.
Mate, listen, I hear you. Terry finding a way to blame the Glazers. Well, again, everything always comes back to them because the Bucks.
What is that comment? Is he a United fan? What is that comment?
I don't know.
Like, at the end of the day, everything comes back to the manager or the owner. Yeah, and the manager is paid by the owner. Yeah, the manager has got rid of David De Gea, Fred, a few others, Ronaldo, yeah, and cleared nearly 2 million quid off of your wage bill every week.
And Man United fans are
going money for the Glazers that are now penny pinching.
So Man United fans have to educate themselves on our structure. So the structure is very similar to what Ten Hag had at Ajax. Doesn't have 100% control over the ingoings and outgoings. It's a panel of where he has a say. And it's essentially the way I was listening to it. It described how it kind of works at Man United. If Ten Hag wants somebody and the other two on the panel, which include Myrtle, say no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Ten Hag can try and convince them and go, okay, we'll agree with you and we do it. So
Okay,
Ten Hag.
sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, so on that basis, your manager's a blatant liar. Yeah, because he said when he got that job, I wouldn't have took the job unless I had full say on transfers.
So he does have full say.
Quote, he said that.
Again, but you're misinterpreting full say. So full say, so let me explain, because it's been explained.
His words.
Hang on. But this is the thing. He has a say, but it is dangerous to give a manager 100% control. And he doesn't have 100% control at the club. He has influence and he can convince. Equally, if he's dead set against a player, he can veto moves as well. So he's not a liar. You've misinterpreted him. And what I'm trying to explain to you, if you just let me speak, is it's been explained. I'll try and find you the link later. Somebody from The Athletic went through it about a year ago in full detail about how it works. However, what I'm trying to say, I'm not worried about him being a liar, because I say this all the time. I don't care what people say in press conferences, because it's all PR. I care about the actions more than I care about what they say. I couldn't give a shit what they say, because we all know they don't speak bullshit, but they say what they're told to say, right? For me, I'm holding the manager accountable for the players that he's picking and signing. I'm also holding elements of the board accountable. For instance, if we hadn't wasted so much money in years gone by that has nothing to do with Ten Hag, there would have been the money this summer to go after Harry Kane. There would have been the money to compete for other players of a higher standard. There is still a upper limit to how much we can spend. So when people say, how are you blaming the Glazers? This isn't about saying it's all the Glazers 100% and no one else is accountable. It is about balance and not being polarized. Some Man United fans, oh no, Ten Hag's done nothing wrong. He's not been backed in any capacity. That's a lie. He has been backed to a point. But we all know this squad needs, from when he joined into when the squad's complete, anywhere between 600 to £1 billion needs to be spent on it to make it compete with the Man City on a regular basis. Not all in 1 year. That's how much needs to be spent. So far, we're under 400 million of that rebuild in. So if they stop spending those higher amounts moving forward, as they did to other managers, as those squads started to take shape, then of course it goes back on the Glazers. However, you have to look at the manager. If Anthony doesn't turn out to be good enough, that's on Ten Hag. He convinced the board for that deal. So you can I don't understand why there's no balance left in fan analysis of football. It's crazy to me.
Because the manager's words, his own words were, his own quote out of his own lips. That is what you hold him accountable for. His speak, his talk, his words. I would not have signed for Man United as manager unless I have full control over transfers. So you're either lying out your mouth, and out your teeth, or you have full control on transfers. Either way, it ain't adding up, mate. Because I understand what you're saying, but the guy has blatantly sat in a press conference and said out of his own mouth, I have full control on transfers. His words. I'm not lying. It's a press conference. Go and watch it. He sat there and said, I have full control on transfers. So you either lied, to millions of people around the world, or you have full control. So if you have full control, cool. You have full control. So it's all on you then. His exact quotes, mate. It came out of his mouth. I would not have took the job at Man United unless I had full control on transfers. His words. It was one of his first press conferences. His words. His words. So you live and die by your words.
I'm just so again. That's what you do, though. So you say people live and die by their words. I'm more about people's actions rather than just their words. I don't take things too seriously. So what I'm actually reading here is what he said is that, and I'm just trying to get the full. I've just Google searched the full quote because I want to make sure I get it correctly, and I'll make sure I read it out loud here because it says I'm just looking for the full quote rather than the segments. I set requirements in advance about how I want to work. If they are not granted, I wouldn't do it. I'm ultimately responsible and accountable for results, which we absolutely agree with. I don't want to be the sole ruler. I stand for cooperation, but controlling transfers is a consideration for me. So again, what he has said again, that's what.
That's not the quote. But that is where he says I have full control on transfers.
So but what you might be doing is headline reading, because the headline of this says Ten Hag. This is what the headline says, and I'm gonna try and find more articles. The headline says Ten Hag says he insists on full control of Man United transfers. However, then when you read the quotes, it says I set requirements in advance of how to work. If they are not granted, I won't do it. I'm ultimately responsible and accountable for results.
Okay. Before you go to the results bit, before you go to the results bit, I set my requirements before I start work.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Lee. So that he said that, and then he says, I don't want to be a sole ruler.
Yeah.
I stand for cooperation, but control in transfers is a condition for me. So he didn't say... No, again, but this is what I'm saying to you. So he hasn't turned around and said, I have full control. He has said that I'm not a sole ruler.
Control in transfers is a condition.
He wants control, so he has power. He didn't say, I have ultimate authority over every element of the deal. It's a lie.
You're waffling. Control in transfers is a condition, right? Control means you have control.
And he can veto deals, and he can convince, and he can put players forward. He isn't control.
You're in control.
No. Again, this has been explained by people very close to the club. He has lots of power, yes, but do you know what he also doesn't have control over? Say I want to ask you this question. Say he says, I want you to go out now and buy Osimhen, and the club say we don't have enough money. We can only afford Rasmus Højlund. He goes, I like Højlund. Anyway, hang on, please let me answer my question directly without turning away. If he wants Osimhen, but they've only got the money for Rasmus Højlund, who's controlling that situation, him or the board?
Well, the board, but at the same time, he's not that dumb because he'd know the budget at the start of the summer.
But that isn't the point. So he will go to them at the beginning of the summer and say, "This is who I want. These are the players I want. What can we afford?" He has a large amount of control. But
what you do is at the end of the season. No, at the end of you can dig yourself out of this all day long. Yeah?
There's no hole. You're not listening, Lee. This is the point.
He said, control in transfers is a condition. That means he wants control. At the end of the season that finished last season, he's going to sit down with the board and he's not going to go, I want Osimhen, I want this. He's going to say, what's the budget?
So Lee, I understand that, but sometimes please let me finish my question. So you understand I'm not what you're challenging me back with isn't what I'm about to ask. It's not the answer to the question. You don't know what the question is because you didn't let me finish it. I understand your point. He had full control over the club going to get an Anthony. Agreed. So he's accountable for that. I've seen Man United fans, and this is the point I'm trying to make to you. I want to see if we're on the same page. When we haven't signed a more expensive player, so we didn't get someone better than Weghorst in January, that's on the manager. He's got full control. He doesn't. He wanted more budget and they didn't sanction it. So can we agree at least that not all the signings are his number one targets?
Yeah, but that's a totally different conversation.
Yes, it is. But this is where, again, you've missed my point.
No, I haven't missed your point.
No, you have. You have. You wouldn't be saying it's a different conversation. Some Man United fans.
Conversation. You're never going to always hit your main target.
Lee, it's not. Listen, because some Man United fans use the quote you're saying, he has full control, to slag him off for going for Weghorst and not a better striker.
He wanted Weghorst. Be real with it.
So you think he wanted Weghorst above all other strikers in Europe in January?
He got rid of Ronaldo and signed Weghorst. That's on him.
Answer me a question and we'll move on. Do you think he wanted Weghorst above all other strikers in Europe in January?
He asked the question, and this is where you're misunderstanding, yeah?
No, he wanted Gakpo, and the club didn't sanction the money. Then by the time they were getting close to it, Liverpool took him. That's who he went for.
Just take the L. The whole chat are on my side, so yeah.
What do you mean L? So you're telling me you think he wanted Weghorst above Gakpo?
They're different players. One's a winner, one's a striker. He got rid of a striker and bought a striker.
Can't you answer a question straight? Do you think he wanted Weghorst over
because you're chatting waffle, mate. You're chatting waffle.
How is it waffle?
Because Gakpo's not a striker, Weghorst is. He got rid of a striker in Ronaldo and brought in a striker.
Let me ask you a different question for a straight answer. Do you think he wanted Weghorst above all other available strikers in January?
No, but he knew the budget, so the budget wouldn't allow it. That's not my question.
Do you think he wanted him over other strikers?
Terry, you're trying to spin this all day long.
I'm asking a question. Do you think...
Of course he wanted Lionel Messi and Mbappe and all these other players and Haaland.
Realistic strikers. Do you think he'd have preferred a better striker than Weghorst if they could have afforded it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. He knew the budget.
Yes. So you agree, right? You agree with me.
So you win then. Yeah, well done.
No, it's not about winning, Lee. It's not about me winning and beating you.
Terry, just listen to what I'm saying. His words out of his own mouth, I want control on the transfers, and that is a condition. Control on the transfers is a condition. But he will not go and say, I'm getting rid of Ronaldo. Are you cool with that? Yeah, cool. We're getting rid of him. Okay, what's the budget? They'll then tell him the budget, and now he has to go and look at a player within that budget. Yeah, doesn't matter what he wants. Yeah, he was working with the budget. The budget from the Glazers, $500,000 off the wage bill every week. brings in Weghorst. Yes, maybe he did want Gakpo, but he ain't a striker anyway, so that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant, yeah? I say this every week. I want to go out on a date with Shakira.
Lee, just firstly, please let me finish what I'm about to say to you here, right?
This is crazy.
First of all, you've changed from the beginning of this conversation till now. You've changed the quote. You said he's quoted that he had full control. He didn't say that, so the quote was wrong in the first place. The second element that I'm trying to, I'm not even trying to fight you. I'm trying to get you to answer a different question, and you're going off in a different direction.
Yeah.
So you've agreed with me that Weghorst was the most that the club would allow him to be able to spend on. The best we could get for the money available. Agreed. So you can't blame the manager. You can't say he had full control over every element of transfers if there's a budget limit, can you?
Can you read this quote again?
No, I don't want to read the quote. That isn't the question I'm asking you.
Sorry, the quote is...
Oh, my God!
Look how rattled he's got.
Because I'm trying to have a different conversation, and you're taking it back.
You're trying to have a different conversation because I'm right.
No, it's not about being right. It's nothing about that. You're not listening. My God,
Ten Hag
Lee.
said, his words, Ten Hag said, control on transfers is a condition.
I agree. I know he said that. That's not what I'm talking about. Do you agree?
He got Ronaldo out and he brought Weghorst in.
God.
That's on him.
I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, because that's not what you're talking about. Because you're diverting it down a different route.
I'm not.
The fact is, look how rattled he is. Look how rattled he is.
Oh my God!
Hey, man's lost it. Man's cooked. Yeah. Hey, Chef Lee in the building. Yeah. Control on transfers is a condition. What does that mean? That means I want control on transfers. You've got Ronaldo out. You brought Weghorst in. That's on you, mate. You might want Gakpo, but at the same time, the control on transfers is on the budget. Yeah. Gakpo's a left winger.
Yeah.
He's not a striker.
Cool.
You brought Weghorst in and then played him and played him and played him.
I'm going to move on because it wasn't what I want. I listen, we can agree to disagree on what full control means. That isn't what I'm trying to talk to you about. But that's what I was talking about in the first place. Again, and we moved on from that, and I was trying to ask you a different question.
It on because you didn't want to admit that that's what you said.
No, it's not about not admitting. I'm fine with that, Lee. Sometimes I try and have a conversation with you.
No, sorry, you don't. You try and be clever
Lee,
and go down a different avenue and open up 5 other roads.
No,
when the actual quote is,
I was trying to
control on transfers is a condition. That means I want control on transfers, and I wouldn't have took the job without it.
Fine, Lee. Can I ask you a question, please? Can you please let me ask you a question without interjecting for a minute?
Go.
Do you agree that he doesn't control the budgets?
Oh, that's standard at every club, yeah.
Okay, yes, then. The answer is yes. Cool, we got there, right? So he doesn't control the budgets. So the only thing where I disagree with people challenging his control, and this is all the point I've been trying to make for 10 fucking minutes, is when people try and use the control quote versus the budget that he can't control. Do you agree that's wrong?
Yeah, but this is where you're taking it down.
No, Lee, I'm not trying
so
to
you've just spoken.
I just want you to answer. Honestly,
look how rattled he is.
If you answer, then you'll understand what I'm about to say, but you won't answer it.
Every single club, every single business has a budget.
Question?
Because I'm trying to answer the question. Look how angry you are. Calm down, man. Calmer. Yeah, look how angry you are. Every single company, every single football club will have a budget. Yeah, that's nothing new. Ten Hag knows the budget, so now he's looking at players within the budget. Yeah, yes, he might want Messi, he might want Mbappe, he might want Gakpo, he might want Haaland, but he knows the budget. So when he said, you're not letting me finish now.
Okay, fine. Continue.
Control on transfers is a condition. Yes, it is. But he knows the budget when he took the job. So he's accepted the job and accepted the terms of the budget, and now he wants control within the budget. And he's got control within the budget. It's said it out of his own mouth. This is mad. So he's gone for a cold shower.
Yeah. So we agree. He has control within the budget. Absolutely. So can you please let me finish what I'm about to answer my question? So when people have a go at him for buying a player of, say, Weghorst quality, when they as fans want better and say, but he chose Weghorst, he should have chose better. You agree with me then that this is all I was trying to get to the point of. Do you agree it's wrong to conflate the control element versus the budget element?
No. Because
so if you only, okay, so the answer, you said no. So let me double up another question. So if I as a fan want better than, say, I want better than Hojbjerg this summer. Yeah. But if there's no budget for the manager to buy better than Hojbjerg, how do you blame the manager?
Because the manager took the job on the terms of the budget and the condition that he said full control on control on transfers is a condition. But he knew the budget and he knows the budget going forward. So he's hang on, you've asked me a question, let me answer it. So he's accepted the job on the terms and conditions of the budget. Yeah, can I have control on? Yes, you can have control, but we're working within this budget. That is the same at every football club. But when he's sitting there, control on transfers, yeah, and signings is a condition. Yes, he's working within a budget, but Terry, that's again, we agree. So he's told you can only sign someone as good as Rasmus Hojbjerg. We agree, right? No, he's been told you're working within this budget. What players you want?
So you can get up to that. So you can sign up to striker wise. You can get to Rasmus Hojbjerg level. We agree. So this is all I'm saying to you. That's fine. And if he buys Rasmus Hojbjerg and he's not good enough, you criticize that. I understand it. But what I find wrong is people go, yeah, but this is what I was trying to get to, and we didn't get to the point because you wouldn't answer my question. Where listen, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with your point around he has control over the players that he has signed within those budgets. I agree with you on that, which is why I've already said I hold him accountable. Where I think it's wrong to use the control element is by saying, I'm angry that my manager chose a shit player like Hojbjerg when he should have gone and got Osherman, who he couldn't afford because it's not within the budgets that he's agreed to. That's where you can't use the control element against him because he's not got control over that.
No, so you can. So you're asking me how has the manager got control over that? If you let me answer it, you'll get the answer. My question is, how does he control buying a player who's double the budget that he's been given? How does he control that? Right. How much money has he spent in free transfer?
That isn't my question. How does he control it?
Because I'm asking you a question because you know your club better than I do. Yeah. But my point is, and I'll get to my answer, but I need to know how much he's spent in free transfer windows he's had. About 400?
About 340 million so far.
Okay, so 340 million. And you're telling me that within the free transfer windows, 340 million, this guy picks Weghorst, but he knew the budget. So take Weghorst out of this transfer window. How much he done this window? 160?
About that, yeah.
So he done 180 in the two previous, and he chose Weghorst. The budget was 180, and he chose Weghorst, mate. That's my point. Controlled on transfers is a condition. Yeah, he knew the budget when he got the job because he would have asked, and his agent would have sat with him.
I understand
the budget. What is the transfer budget?
I don't understand where you're coming from, though.
What's the when you go to a football club? Surely, what you're going to ask them is, what is the transfer budget? How much can we spend? Yeah, in this window in January, how much is available for us to spend? They'll then tell you, well, it's roughly this, but if we get a couple of player sales out, it'll be this. If we get estimated value on them, yeah. So he knew the job and what it entailed. He knew the budget and what he had to work with. He gets rid of Ronaldo and signs Weghorst. He's also come out and his quote, his words, you read it, controlled on transfers is a condition. Gets rid of Ronaldo, signs Weghorst, but has spent before this window 180 million. And he chose Weghorst. That's on him, mate. He has control.
So my point is though, so he should have. So if he spent more, this is where I disagree, because if he spent more on a player in January, say he spent 30 million pounds on a striker in January that isn't as good as say Hojbjerg, but better than Weghorst, and that eats into the budget. That's then less this summer to spend, which means another hole. Which, hang on a minute, it isn't just about misbudgeting. It's about spending. You can only buy a certain amount of quality based on the budget that you've got. And you're accountable for what you buy. I totally understand that. And that's why I said if Anthony doesn't work, you criticize him for it. Where I think the full control element is wrong is when people want him to buy players that are well outside of the budget that's been sent. Equally with Cristiano Ronaldo, the situation there, again, is being manipulated and lied about because the manager was happy to work with him. The only reason he got sold the way he did is because he went behind the club's back and did a video to force himself out of the football club. So you take managers' words seriously in press conferences, Jess? You believe them 100%?
No, they're all compulsive liars, but I hold them accountable for their lies.
So again, but what he said in the press conference is that he doesn't want Ronaldo leaving and he wants him here. He wasn't one that wanted to.
Harry Maguire's got a future at the football club.
Okay.
Lie.
Okay, so the point, well, that's not a lie. He said that he has, but he's not first choice, and that's true. So the point I'm making is he didn't want to sell Ronaldo. But you come on here and state that, but he got rid of Ronaldo. No, Ronaldo forced himself out. There's a difference.
Well, not really. He didn't want him. Let's be real. Did he want him? If he wanted him, he would have kept him. Yeah. He wanted Anthony. He got Anthony. He wanted Varane. Sorry, not Varane. Lissandro. He got Lissandro. Yeah. He wanted the striker.
But he wouldn't have got those players. He wouldn't have got those players, Lee, if they didn't want to join as well. Ronaldo forced his way out of the football club. No, I'm not waffling. Hang on, of course it's something to do with it. He got the players he wanted, but they also wanted to join. He might have wanted to keep Ronaldo. But if Ronaldo's forcing himself out the club, talking about the club the way he did publicly and forcing the Glazers' hands to sell him, that takes an element of control away from the manager. The manager's, which you hold him accountable for, is that he said he wanted Ronaldo. Ronaldo was the one that forced the move away.
Okay, Man United, so on that basis then, when you say control on transfers is a condition, you're now adding in the element of the budget, whether the player wants to join, whether the agent wants his fee, and whether this and this and this.
Of course it is.
Don't sit in a press conference. No, wait. Do not sit in a press conference and say you have control over transfers is a condition then. Because it's not. Because the agent has a say, the player has a say, the owners have a say. So it's not a condition then, is it? So he's a liar.
Hang on a minute. So you're saying managers that say they've got control over transfers are lying if an agent or a player is allowed to make their own decisions as well.
Conversation. I don't give a toss about an agent. My point is, I'm holding him accountable for his words.
No. But again, you were talking about buying players versus selling players. Ronaldo didn't leave because the manager was forcing him out. He left because he forced himself out. Because what the manager said in public, and you said what the manager says is what you go by.
It's compulsive liar, Terry. So there we go.
Okay, but again, here's my point to you. 1 minute you take what a manager says to the nth degree and go, we have to hold him to this account. But then when he says something that goes against your narrative, you're like, no, he's just a liar. No.
Terry. The guy has blatantly sat in press conferences week in, week out, bigging up Harry Maguire, making out he's amazing.
Why not?
And then not playing him. So? Yeah, and then playing him. And then he comes on and gets the armband. Yeah, now he's taking the armband off him. You're trying to sell him, but because he don't want to take a wage cut, he's now going to stay at Man United. And the manager's now gassing it up. Why would Harry Maguire want to leave when you've got some idiot sitting in a press conference every week blowing smoke up your ass? Yeah, and the club are refusing to pay the extra 90 grand a week for you to go to West Ham. Yeah, West Ham don't want to pay you. So I'll give an example. No, the best way to say this in simple terms. The best way to say this in simple terms. The player
refusing to take a pay cut and leave, and the board, the Glazers saying no to paying him off. Is that on Ten Hag?
Yeah, because he's sat there chatting shit about him for over a year, making out he's great. So I'll give an example. Yeah, no, I'll give you the best example going. When Jose was your manager, you put Victor Valdez and Bastian Schweinsteiger in the reserves. Yeah, Schweinsteiger had been there 10 months on a 3-year contract. Yeah, 10 months. Jose bang, reserves. Victor Valdez. We're not talking about Mickey Mouse footballers here. We're talking about decent players. Yeah, Bastian Schweinsteiger back then was one of the best. 10 months he'd been at United. Jose goes bang, you're in the under-21s because he wanted him out. Yeah. This manager that you have now is sitting in press conferences blowing smoke up Maguire's ass every week, telling him how great he is. So no wonder he don't want to leave.
And Jose did all of that. And how did it end?
With 2 trophies.
No. How did it end?
How did it end? They left the football club.
Hang on a minute. See, this is where you've done yourself, Lee, on this argument. You've gone too far now.
Here we go.
Hang on. Let me get to the end of my point here. You're praising Jose.
I am listening. Go on.
You're praising Jose for what he did in his first season and not his next 2. But when it comes to Arteta, you discount what he did in his first season of winning the FA Cup, and you talk about what he's done in his last, his 2, 3, 4 seasons after that. But when it comes to Jose, you praise him for the trophies year 1, and you ignore the shit show that came after that based on the behaviours you're now talking about.
Wait, hang on, wait. You just said I dismissed what Arteta did in the first season. No, I didn't. I cheered the FA Cup because I enjoyed the FA Cup.
When you talk about Arteta now, you say, what's he won? Well, he won anything since he won that, and that's not even the same story.
No, Terry. If you're going to quote me, if you're going to quote me properly. Yeah, I say he has won nothing in 3 full seasons. That's factually correct.
Right.
He inherited a mess. Okay, it was a mess, but he still managed to beat Man City and Chelsea with that mess and win us an FA Cup, which was the 14th time we've won it. And if you go back to my watch along, I was over the moon.
I know you were.
But now fast forward 3 years later, over 3 years later, we're now in the longest trophy drought in our history. Not in our history, in the last 10 years, sorry, my bad. Yeah. Longest trophy drought for a 10-year period, right? He's done that while spending over 600 million quid, right? So hang on. So wait, when he's sitting in press conferences waffling, I hold him accountable for that. I don't care what you did four FA Cups ago. What are you doing for me lately? And this is the same with Ten Hag. Well done, you won the League Cup last season. Well done, you got to the Cup final and lost. Well done, you got to the quarters and David De Gea happened. And Harry Maguire, the guy you've been playing smoke up all day, every week in a press conference, cost you in the first leg. David De Gea, who you got rid of as well, by the way, took another 400 or 300 off the wage bill, right? So he's sitting there blowing smoke up these players' backsides. Let me finish my point. He's blowing smoke up these players' backsides week in, week out. He sat there literally less than 2 weeks ago in a press conference and said, the squad is complete. I'm happy with the squad. We have enough. Paraphrasing, but along them lines. I'm happy with the squad. We have a good squad. It's a complete squad. Paraphrasing, but along them lines. So if you're happy with the squad, why would Scott McTominay want to leave? Why would Harry Maguire want to leave? Why would any of the other players that shouldn't be there want to leave when you're hearing your manager sit in a press conference telling you you're part of the squad and it's a complete squad? You're not going to leave, are you? So why don't you do the Jose route and stick Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay if you want them to leave that badly in the under-21s and say you ain't training. You're not going to play a game. You're not getting. Wait. You're not going to be registered for Champions League squads. You're going to train with the under-21s. So you're going to play under-21s all season. Harry Maguire's in his 30s. Harry Maguire then has a decision to make. Now I'm not going to play a first-team game. I'm playing with the under-21s games all season. Right? My England career's on the line here. What do I do? Because I'm never going to play for the first team for Man United under this manager. I'm now playing with the 21-year-olds, and the 18-year-olds. I'm not registered for any squad. Now you make a choice. Now he takes a pay cut by leaving. Because he will now go to West Ham on 90 grand less. And that is how you force a player out. Jose done it with Bastian Schweinsteiger and Victor Valdez. And guess what? The end goal was they both left the football club.
And this is the thing. Great point, and I understand it. But my question, you literally said football is about what have you done for me? Hang on, no. You said football's about what have you done for me lately. You're praising Jose for his toxic behavior towards players to force them out. I believe it was toxic. And he said football's about what you did for us lately. So he started doing it and he won 2 trophies. And then the following 2 seasons, we regressed and he got sacked. And it was the beginning of our longest trophy drought in 40 years. So the point I'm making to you
is... Though, is it?
Part of it is on him.
No, part of 2 years of it is on him.
It started it, is what I said.
So my point, how long was that trophy drought?
Let me, and it went on for 6 years to be hired an even worse manager. No, not there we go. Your point is, football is what have you done for me lately, sport. You're saying that this current manager should follow the same pattern as Jose. Jose's pattern was started off year 1 winning trophies and then got progressively worse because of the way he treated players, partly. So forgive me as a Man United fan for saying I don't want the players treated how Jose did because I want the success to continue to grow and not be
nice and
hang on a minute. No, Lee, I don't want that. Lee, let me finish, please. What I want is for my manager to be tough behind the scenes, which we can see that he's being, but professional, polite, courteous, the majority of the time in public. I want him to treat the players with respect publicly and handle business behind the scenes. That is how I want to see it be done. That is how the great managers do it. Jose Mourinho at his best did it that way. He protected his players through thick and thin. Jose on the decline became toxic publicly about his players. And it's part of the reason he is where he is now.
Manager you've had at your football club that actually called your owners out, mate. Yeah, he said, what did you say? I want 5. I've asked for 5 players. I'll be lucky if I get 1.
And he's done that.
He called him out.
Again, bro.
Let me answer what you just said.
Where did it take us? Where did it take us? Where did it take us? Where did it take us?
Where does it take you?
Where did it take us?
Because he called him out.
Where did it take the club?
Where did it take the club? He won 2 trophies with you, Terry.
No. From when Jose called out the Glazers, where did the club go?
Where did the club go? Where did he finish the second season? I don't know.
Where did he called them out? He called them out. He called them out in the summer after the second season. So from then till now, how's my club done?
Oh, okay, so he called them out in the summer. So that was his final season.
Yes. So yes.
Okay,
So
so yeah, actually, hold on.
So answer where did he take the club?
I'm answering the question if you let me talk.
Where did he take the club?
So in his final season, the summer before he got sacked, that summer, he called out the Glazers and got sacked. How many months later?
About 6.
So 6 months.
Yes.
After calling out the Glazers, not getting what he wanted, he kicked off, said it in press conferences, storming out, giving it respect, and all of that stuff, and then got sacked, and where did it take you? It took you to going down the puppet route, a puppet route, of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a puppet, a Glazer puppet who only got the job on a technicality of a legend who recommended him.
Yes. So again,
but now off the back of that, you have just now employed the Dutch Ollie. Because he's doing exactly the same.
Okay. So again, I'm going to agree with you. So you're right. So why would I want another manager to do what Jose did that puts us down the road to having 2 puppets that are going to take us backwards? Tell me why I'd want that.
Because you need a manager that's going to go in there with strong balls.
You're wrong. No, you're wrong. I'm going to interject. You've just said because Jose called out. You turned around and said because Jose called out the owners, we end up with 2 puppets that have taken us backwards. So why would I want the Glazers called out again? Because then they're just going to bring in more puppets, aren't they?
Well, that depends, doesn't it? Because if every manager calls them out, I'll give an example. What's he going to do? It's going to take us backwards. I don't want it again. It ruined us before, ruined us again. Okay,
we're going to move on.
Wait. So you would rather...
We're moving on now. We're moving on.
No, it ain't the Terry show. It's the Lee and Terry show,
We're moving on because there's been some breaking news I want to talk about.
Let me just say this, The fact and reality is if Erik ten Hag walks out of that football club right now and says, I'm leaving, this club isn't the club I expected it to be. They've lied to me about X, Y, and Z. Blah, blah, blah. They told me this and this and this, whatever. All of a sudden, your fans are rate Ten Hag so highly, the same as Ralph Rangnick, when he went in there and said, this needs open heart surgery. Guess how quick they got him out. But now you then know you have to step up your attempts to get the ownership out. But when you've got a puppet sitting in press conferences blowing smoke up every player's backside, and saving the Glazers money left, right, and centre by getting rid of De Gea, getting rid of Ronaldo, getting rid of all these top earners, and then buying players that are not on the same wages or the same fee, all you're doing is putting money in their pocket. He's a puppet, mate.
I agree. I agree completely. And the fans are puppets as well, and they're not going to walk away.
Would rather he lie to you in public to protect. No,
I don't see it as. I don't interpret it as lying. It doesn't make me feel better. I don't interpret it as lying. It's professionalism, and that's
lying. Let's not chat rubbish here.
Okay, I'm not calling it lying. I don't think the manager's sitting there and lying. He's being professional because there are certain elements that I don't think should be displayed publicly. They should be done behind closed doors. Equally, though,
not in my plans going forward. He's going to train with the under-21s and play with the under-21s.
I don't want my manager treating players to that degree. We've tried it before at the club.
This is why Man United are a mess.
No, it's not why we're in a mess. We did it before and it made us in a bigger mess. So I don't want it to be done again. I want it to be handled differently. What you're saying and asking for has been done before, and the club regressed massively, and we're still trying to fight to get out of that hole. My question is this: why would you repeat the same practices that destroyed you before?
Because this manager has gone in there only to save them money, and he's waffling in press conferences, Terry. Yes, you don't want to repeat the same process.
That doesn't answer my question. No, why would I want my manager?
5 seconds on a question.
But you're not answering it. Why would I want as a fan?
In 5 seconds, I have to answer it.
Yeah, why? But you could talk about.
I said yeah.
Because what are you talking about? Why? Just answer me a straight question. Why would I want the same? Just answer me quickly. Because you're saying stuff that's nonsensical.
No,
why would
your manager is? Yeah, he's a liar.
Fine. But why would I want him to do the same things that Jose did that took us into our deepest hole in the last 40 years? Why would I want him to do the same things Jose did?
No, because at the end of the day, you had Ralph Rangnick in there, you've had Jose in there, and you don't know if you listen to me.
But you're not answering the question, but go on.
Okay, don't worry. Let's move on. Because
you're not answering it. Why would you want rapid fire answers? Why would I want the same behaviors again? Why would I want the same behaviors again? Just answer that.
Don't worry about it. I don't care. It ain't my club.
Well, you care enough to talk about it, Lee. Like
because I'm calling your manager out for his fucking. So when you get
so when a new manager comes into your club, do you want to see him do something different to Arteta, or the same things that took you backwards? And do you think you've gone backwards in your eyes? Do you want the same things done again, or something different?
What I want is a winning manager, and that
Yes.
means winning at all costs.
Yes,
This
but that isn't
manager
the
is not
question.
doing that.
That
Your
isn't the
manager
question.
ain't doing it, and I want
Hang on,
people to
my
sit in
manager
a
won a
press
trophy. Hang on.
conference.
My manager won a
Again, why
trophy
can't I
last year.
talk?
Because you lie. My manager won a
I
trophy
lie.
last year.
Your
My
manager's a liar.
My manager won a trophy last year, did he not?
Yeah. He's
Then
still
why
a
you saying
liar. That don't change the fact he's a liar.
you just said he doesn't win anything? He did. He won a trophy.
No, I said, am I in a different? Am I speaking foreign here?
No, you're speaking nonsense. You just said your manager isn't winning anything. You just said my manager doesn't win anything. He just won a trophy, did he not?
My manager's not going to win anything.
Right.
Yeah. You took that as your manager. If you want to take it as your manager, that's cool.
Because I said, why do you want managers to do? You want them to do something different or the same? You said I want them to win. I said my manager has won something.
Yeah. Cool. Well done. Yeah. Are you going to win the league this season? No.
No.
Yeah. Are you going to win the Champions League this season? No.
Probably not. No.
But there you go. You're the biggest club in England.
What's that got to do with anything?
Because if you actually let me listen, if you actually listen to me for more than 5 seconds, PSG are the biggest club in France right now. Yeah. They've won 21 trophies in 9 years. They're seen as a mess. Oh, they're a mess. By Arsenal fans, Man United, English fans, all these other fans, they see PSG as a mess.
Yeah.
Why don't they hold our clubs accountable for the actual mess that we're in? Whilst they're in a mess, they're winning 21 trophies in 9 years. How many of your team won in 9 years? And you're the biggest club in England, so you're on the same par as them in France. Yeah, you're on the same par as them in France. Bayern Munich are the biggest club in Germany. Yeah, and they've won 10 in a row. Why ain't Man United trying to do that?
I'll ask you a question. Do Man United have the same monopoly in England as PSG and Bayern Munich do?
Yeah, because you have a bigger budget than every club in the country, mate.
So there's no club
with the biggest budget.
So you think that PSG and Bayern Munich have the same, Man United have the same gulf in income and expenditure power that in England that they have. So City can't spend like us, Chelsea can't spend like us, Arsenal can't spend like us.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Why is that irrelevant?
Because it's irrelevant because you have the biggest budget. Let's not even dress this up and make it out into be some fairy tale. You have the biggest budget.
How do we have the biggest budget? Is it a monopoly?
No, but you're changing the conversation now.
No, it's not.
Are you the biggest club in England? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you the biggest club in England?
Do we have a
question? You've thrown a million questions at me.
Okay, I can.
Are Man United the biggest club in England? Yes or no?
We are.
Okay, are Bayern Munich the biggest club in Germany? Yes or no?
They have a
are PSG the biggest club in France? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. So on that basis,
that's wrong. That is wrong, Lee.
What's
that
wrong?
Is wrong.
You just admitted it's true.
No. I'll explain why it's wrong. It's wrong because there is not, in my opinion, Man United are the biggest team in England. But there is, compared to Bayern Munich and the next biggest team in England, there is not that big a gap between Man United and Liverpool. There is not that big a gap now financially between Man United and City. There is not that big a gap. There is not as big a gap. So who's the second richest team in France?
Probably Marseille or Lyon.
So you think Man United's wealth compared to Liverpool's is the same difference between PSG and
now you're diverting and changing the narrative.
No, you said we should be looking at what Bayern Munich and PSG.
You're the biggest club in England.
I'm saying to you, where you're wrong on that is there's a difference. We don't have a monopoly on our league, therefore it is a false equivalence. Can't be done.
Okay, you're chatting rubbish. You're chatting absolute rubbish.
How is that rubbish?
Bayern Munich have the biggest budget, yes, but so do Man United. Yeah, you're the most successful team in England. They're the most successful in Germany. Yeah, PSG have the biggest budget. They're the most successful in France. Right. So on that basis alone, it's irrelevant about the other teams, Terry.
No, it's not.
Why is it
irrelevant? Why is it irrelevant? Why is it irrelevant first?
It's irrelevant about the other teams because you have the biggest budget and you're the biggest club. So why don't you start acting like the biggest club with the biggest budget? Yeah. Doesn't matter what Man City are doing. Doesn't matter what Chelsea and Arsenal are doing. Doesn't matter about anyone. If you get your house in order, you'll do exactly what Bayern Munich are doing. And what
we won't because no team's ever won 8 or 9 like league titles in England on the bounce ever. It's never been done.
Man City are on course to do 4, mate. Yeah, because guess what? They actually understand the aim of the game.
And I agree with you on that because they're run well. Man United haven't been run well. They haven't been run,
but that doesn't change the fact that you're the biggest with the biggest budget.
Hang on, let me make my point. Man United haven't been run well. No, they changed this. Man United haven't been run impeccably for 17, 18 years. We've been run horrendously for a decade. If we will run well with no debt, Man United, my expectations would be for us to be where they are. I want us to get back to that point. But my expectations are not low from where I want us to be, but my expectations on reality are different because my club is not run well enough.
In context, of course.
And that's why, like I said at the top, I hold Ten Hag accountable for lots of things, and I have done on match reviews. But to discount the board's control in these conversations is crazy. Look, people, there's 100. There's so many.
Absolutely fried.
Mate, I don't care. The reason I'll tell you why I'm angry as well. It isn't even directly at you. I am so sick of these conversations about my football club and people chatting bullshit when they understand nothing about it. Yeah. I want to go. I have lost it. I've lost it because I'm sick to my back teeth of people not understanding what's going on at my football club and talking shit about it.
Your football club is you've got puppets in charge,
shit. Mate. Yeah, cool. Again, I don't want to do it because I'm going to lose my temper again.
No, but you've got puppets that lie to the public.
That's fine. Great. Let's say you're right. I am right. Who puts them in charge?
Yeah, cool.
So back to the original point. Who should my anger be at?
But okay, yes, I understand that. But
I want to move on.
Your manager took the job on the terms and conditions that were put to him before he said yes. So on that premise alone,
and that's not my. Okay, fine. We move on. That's fine. And this is why it annoys me. I said I hold him accountable. I said it at the beginning of this whole fucking rant.
So angry. I was just
because I get things said. Hang on, mate. I want to say this calmly, and then I want to get to the super chat. No, it's nothing to do with that. Listen, it's not. I'm not even disagreeing with a lot of what you're saying. Where I'm annoyed is that, in my opinion, I say certain things like I'm holding the manager massively accountable for this, that, and the other, and then I get thrown back at me by you and the viewers. Why wouldn't you hold the manager accountable? I do. Then I'm being told I'm on the Glazer payroll.
No, but you spin 5 other avenues off of a conversation.
Lee, let me tell you what I'm trying to do. Is that we're talking about one thing, and I don't want to get into an argument over this. So please let me just say it so we can get to these super chats. No, what I'm trying to say to you is I'm like agreeing with part of what you're saying. And I'm saying, do you think I'm trying to give you a different example of things people blame the manager for to get your opinion on it? And 6 times I tried to ask, and before I could ask you the question, you jumped in and said, but I've already said that. And I'm like, but you don't know what I'm going to say yet. And I did lose my temper, and I lost my temper because I'm trying to have an in-depth conversation, looking at multiple angles surrounding the same conversation, as opposed to just one point within it.
Yeah, but then when I do that, you cut me off.
Because I'm asking you questions, and be honest with you, Lee.
Yeah, and then I ask you questions and give context to a statement.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Look, fair enough. Can you do me a favor? Can we just move to these super chats? There's so many of them, and we've still got to speak Arsenal on the show.
Another Cobra. I'm cool, mate.
Cool. Mate, please just stop now. Terry is right on Man United versus Bayern. Bayern don't have 6 other clubs with similar resources. No league has City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, and Newcastle. Absolutely.
Irrelevant.
Lee, why is everything black and white according to Lee, is what Dennis says here.
It's a simple game. You either win or you lose.
I just want to be very. Can I just set this premise?
Carry on. I ain't stopping you.
No. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the viewers. Sorry, we can't go into every super chat in great detail because of time, and I've got time restraints today. This here says, "Is Ten Hag a puppet? If Ten Hag's a puppet, does the same apply for Arteta?"
Yep. I said he was a puppet when he got the job. At least
Man United want their owners out. Arsenal are, after one good season, Kroenke's out, vanished. Let's see if your owners spend like that next year, is what's said.
Great comment.
Lee, Liverpool is bigger than United in England. I like that.
You like that? You're having a nightmare, mate. I'm going to get a beer.
If you want to catch City, act like them. Pepe's ruthless and doesn't play polite. If he doesn't want a player anymore, Cancelo, he'll let the world know. Absolutely. Just, and there are times where I think you do that in the Cancelo situation when there's a falling out between the player and the player is behaving unprofessionally. But I've seen the manager, speak very nicely about players that he's moving on as well. So I think there's a happy medium in that, my friend. But I do believe with behaving more like City do, and I've been calling for it for 6 years. That's why I'm so angry. Terry, you want an answer what you like to hear. That's not true. That's not true at all. I understand why.
On this stream, it has been true.
It's not. I'm going to disagree because I know what I want in my own mind. Sometimes, and I've spoken to Lee about this off camera, sometimes I'm trying to ask a question because I'm trying to go deeper. And when the question's not being answered, or it's like, but you want to go 5 different avenues and build up a big context. Of course.
5 questions in one. But then when I give you 5 answers in one, you want an immediate quick answer. It don't work like that.
Again, and this is where I'll hold the L on this one. Sometimes what I'm asking for you to do is I'm saying, do you agree with this? And what most people do in that circle is goes, yeah, I do agree with that. Cool. So let's ask you this question based on it. And I did get triggered, but it's on a subject that I'm so passionate about and angry about that it annoys me. Lee is cooking, knows more about United than Terry. I disagree that he knows more about
Terry knows more, but go on.
So Terry, do you still think he should play Harry Maguire even though he wants to get rid of him? No, that's why I'm screaming for him to leave the fucking football club. That's what I mean. I'm not angry at you. That's why I'm annoyed. Terry, you're wrong. Ten Hag is doing it the wrong way. If Posh was polite, Lukaku would have still been at Chelsea. Again, though, Chelsea. No, but again, no, Lee, it's different. Maguire hasn't done to Man United what Lukaku did to Chelsea in his first stint at the club. There's again, like I said earlier, the way Cancelo behaved at Chelsea, at City, I get why Pep did what he did. The way Aubameyang behaved at Arsenal, I get why Arteta came out publicly and said what he did. There's no talk that Maguire had done anything unprofessional at the football club. That's different for me. Terry, you ruined the stream by being so immature. Fair enough. This is the most rubbish show on YouTube. You're lying. You love the show. One of the best shows on YouTube is what this guy said. I appreciate it. Seven Hog is a yes man. Lee is 100% right. Maybe. I think most, by Lee's own definition, probably barring Pep, every manager in the Prem, would you say is a yes man?
Pretty much, yeah. Which is why Man City win the league every year. It's not rocket science, is it?
As a Man United fan, 150 million net spend this year is respectable. I agree. We're angry that we're buying 40 million pound players, then 70 million pound, and selling 30 million for 10. Poor from Ten Hag and Arnold. Yeah, listen, I agree. There's poor elements on both sides. I completely agree with that. Lee, Ten Hag wanted Maguire out, and there is no budget constraints to get him out. So where is the control?
Put him also, in the 21s and not register him for any squad. Yeah, you'll get him out real quick. Watch. Yeah, you're not in the Champions League squad. You're not in any Premier League squad. Yeah, you're not in my 25-man squad this season. You're playing with the kids all season. Yeah, all of a sudden, 31-year-old Harry Maguire now has a decision. We'll pay you 190 every week, but you're playing with the kids every week, and you ain't playing here, mate. Yeah, all of a sudden he's leaving. Come on.
I bet you guys outside of football talk are really great pals. Yeah, listen, there's no. I will say it's triggered me and rattled me, but there's no animosity. I'm not going to be like.
Last week it was me losing the plot and screaming and shouting. This week it's Terry. This is why it's a good show.
Terry, you're wrong. He was Arteta's low budget first choice. Yeah. No, I listen. I'm not saying he wasn't a player the manager didn't say yes to. I'm also stating that budget shop and change. Things change at clubs. It isn't as black and white as Lee's making out. Lee's videos say all with L's. Heart, just take the L, Lee, is what Colton says.
Yeah.
Sing it. We've got Super League Gunner. He's exactly what we need. Spitting straight facts. Makes Terry pee his pants. We're on our way to the Goated League. I like that. That's funny. Lee transfer fee and wages paid by PSG for Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar is the equivalent of Marseille's revenue once year end. Has such financial power, they'll win 9. Yeah, listen, if Man United had the monopoly, those teams have
wait. On that basis, why didn't they win the league 2 years ago then?
Who?
PSG. They didn't win the league 2 years ago.
So again, it's not about one scenario.
Do they win the league every year? Yes or no?
Almost.
Well, yes or no?
No.
Thank you.
Almost.
So factually, correct information is they do not win the league every year, even
no club does. But no club does.
Thank you. But they have the biggest budget. Yeah, you have the biggest budget. You're the biggest club. They're the biggest club.
So again, but I don't lead. Not to go around the corner. I don't disagree that if we were run better as a club, we'd compete more. That's my issue. However, the only thing we're disagreeing on here is I don't want my manager being toxic publicly about my club or my players. Why?
You'd rather get smoke blown up your ass.
No. See, this is where I'm fighting back, and this is probably why I lost my temper. It's not about wanting that, and this is where I don't think you even acknowledge my opinion and why I got triggered. Really triggered is I don't want it because we've seen it before. When it was first happening, at the beginning of it, I wasn't overly against it. I was like, yeah, this will rattle their feathers. This will make everybody get in line, and it put us into our worst position in 40 years. So my question that still no one in the comments has answered is why would I want the exact same course of action again that set my club back years? I don't want it. I want it to be done in a different way with tact and professionalism, because that's how I think the greats have always
professionalism isn't a buzzword for lying publicly.
No, it's not. It's not, in my opinion. Let's go through more of these super chats here. If Ten Hag's honest, he gets sacked, but nothing changes in the club. They'd bring in a manager that falls in line. It's rotten from the ownership down.
It is. I agree. He accepted the terms and he knew he was going to be a Glazer puppet when he got the job, which is what he's doing.
So if Ten Hag wins the league and he's a puppet, what would the response to that be? So no, that's not the question. The question is, if he wins the league and he's a puppet, what would you say? Yeah, what would you say? What would you say?
And we'll have the conversation.
So if anybody else this season other than Pep wins the league, what are you going to say?
Do it and we'll have the conversation.
You
can't close a closer, mate.
It's not about closing a closer. You just don't like answering questions that
I answer questions that are proper questions, not fantasy Disney-esque storylines.
You don't answer.
The fact is if Arteta wins the league, we'll have the conversation.
Is Klopp a puppet?
If Ten Hag wins the league, we'll have the conversation.
Is Klopp a puppet? Is Klopp a puppet?
Yeah, Klopp's a puppet. I said this last week.
Then how did he win the league and Champions League?
Because he weren't a puppet back then.
Oh, so he's only now become a puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's got a massive pay rise.
I don't get the Ten Hag protection. He's a fraud. Man got rid of Ragnick. Again, that's another misconception. He didn't get rid of Ragnick. The club got rid of Ragnick. Again, please do your research before speaking about my football club. Watch Terry do the usual Lee Gunner exposed video tomorrow, edited with tears coming out his face. I don't do the editing, but thank you. But when Klopp doesn't call out FSG, he's a coward. Again, my manager, this is where I'm going to lose my fucking shit. My manager,
do it.
The difference is my manager has openly stated we need better players to move forward and compete. He hasn't turned around when we needed new midfielders and new players and said, I'm happy with what I've got. He said that at other times after he signed people. He said at the weekend, we've got the players to cover the injury to Luke Shaw right now, and that's fine. But he has called out the ownership on many occasions saying we need to spend and we need to improve the squad. So again, don't lie on my club's name. I challenge my club more than anyone, but don't lie about it. Fergie left United in the mud. The team was done. Was Fergie a puppet?
He's a puppet now.
Was he a puppet in those first few years when he was saying that the club didn't have the money to buy people when everyone thought it was Glazenomics?
Yeah, he did. He went well away when Chelsea and City took over. Yeah, he went well away from what made him great. Yeah, and now he's sitting there nicking £3 million a year, right, covering the Glazers' backside. And let's be real, the only reason they're there is because of his horse semen.
Yeah. Good manager works within a budget. How is Robertson again? Listen, good manager works in a budget. Our manager came third last year when no one predicted it and won a trophy.
Well done. Second loser. Didn't win the league. You lost.
So, but progression last year, very, very good.
Progression. And wait. Stop right there. Progression. You either win or you lose. And then at the end of the season, we restart the season and we're on 0 points. So you win or you lose again.
So you ignore. So hang on, but you didn't do that with Jose. You big up what Jose did year one. But again, with
Jose year one won 2 trophies, mate.
Okay.
Only manager in your history to win a European trophy in his first season.
This is the thing, right? So with Jose Mourinho,
Am I lying?
But you're disingenuous.
Am I lying?
But you're not lying, but you're disingenuous because you praised Jose's first season and ignore what came after. With Ten Hag, you're now ignoring his first season.
Where have I ignored what came after? Jose's first season.
Hang on. Lee, let me finish my point, right? You've turned around and said he treated players this way and did that and it led to trophies. You should follow it. You completely ignore the downward spiral.
No, I don't.
From his bad behavior, because all you do is talk about the success. When it comes to Ten Hag, you want me to ignore what he did and won in year one and just focus on his opening 3 games of this season. You're a hypocrite.
Last season, he completed the aim of the game. But ultimately, league form, he failed. Yeah, it's not progression getting in the Champions League because guess what? At the end of the season, one person holds the trophy up in the league. Yeah, the other 19 have lost. Then you start the new season again. You'll start from the same starting point, 0.
Okay. Lee is proving Terry's point with his counter arguments against Terry's points. Agreed. Lee got his revenge. Terry is triggered. This is better than Piers Morgan's TV. Terry, you keep interrupting, then saying, "Let me finish."
Exactly. Let me talk.
But you know why I do it? Do you know why I do it? And this is just from my perspective.
Because he doesn't like getting put in the mud.
No, it's nothing to do with that. Because you do it when I do it sometimes when I'm cool, calm, and collected. I asked you a question, and you did it earlier when I said to you, so what would you do if one of these puppets wins the league? You don't answer questions because you can't.
We'll do it, and we'll have the conversation. It's all hypothetical. It's all storyline.
But you won't know, Lee. But you'll move the goalpost because you said before, if my manager finishes within 5 points of the team at the top of the league, I'll back him. He did that, and you're not backing him. You're a liar. You lie. You move the goalposts. That's why I like to ask them.
Trophy drought for a decade, mate.
There we go. But that wasn't what you said wouldn't make you support him last year. What you'll do if my manager wins the league this year, if hypothetical, you'll move the goalpost to find it to twist it, and instead of saying I was wrong. 100% on Terry's side here. Control has levels, of course it does.
Yeah, but you accept the levels when you get the job.
Lee body Terry. Terry just waffles nonsense. Absolutely. We still got so many of these here. Klopp's been a yes man since the summer of 2000. Pep would never sign for the Glazers because he's not a yes man. The fact that Erik ten Hag reads the contract and sign means he agreed to be a yes man.
Facts.
Fair play. Then he won't win anything. Lee, you will be a puppet for the right price.
Hey, mate, give me that Saudi money. I'm all over it.
Saudi deals are until 2026 to win the World Cup bid. Maybe. Calling out your employer or past employers may be the dumbest suggestion I've ever heard. Why would anyone else want you after that? It's a very good case in point.
Jose got a job after that and won Roma their first trophy in 14 years. So he ain't done too bad, has he?
Big clubs don't want him though. Lee, Thomas Tuchel. No, they're not a big club. Not by your standards.
Roma are not a big club. Wow.
Are they?
Roma are not a big club. Cool. You said it. Clip that, KJ. Roma are not a big club.
I wouldn't put them in the big. I wouldn't put Roma in.
No, you're talking now. I'm talking about history, tradition, the whole lifespan. We're not talking the last 10 years. Roma are a massive football club. Same as Marseille are a massive football club. Yeah, you wouldn't say Marseille are a big club right now, though, would you? But in terms of their whole history, tradition, and trophies and all of that, and the background, they're massive.
So the reason I wouldn't call them massive is they've never won the Champions League.
Well, Marseille,
hang on. Roma have never won a Champions League and they've only won 3 league titles in their history. So I think I wouldn't call Spurs a massive club, and Spurs have similar records. I wouldn't call Newcastle a massive club. They've only won a handful of league titles. I wouldn't call them massive. No, I wouldn't call them massive. Control #full control. Many of you fouled.
Terry lost control
in school. Jesus. Tell them guns. I need a couple of cheeky tequilas to watch all this madness.
Yeah,
how do you deal with your hurt against broke? Sorry, how do you deal with your hurt getting broken? I can't deal with it. I don't know what you mean, bro.
Talking to me or you?
Man up. The only thing Lee fights is reality. Just wait for the Arsenal takes to start flying. We're going to come back to some more of these super chats later because there's still quite a lot of them. Obviously, the Cucurella attempt has now gone in from Man United as well. We were going to mention that, but moving on to
United, here we go.
Moving on to Arsenal. Balogun is about to leave. Done deal pretty much on that from leaving the club. But I want to ask you about first of all, how do you feel about him leaving now that it's done to Monaco as well?
I'm fuming, if I'm being honest, because if he played for Chelsea, that's a £60 million price tag. We sold him for 34 million. But don't worry, we got Eddie Nketiah up front. He's been our best player apparently. So cool. This lot all live in the moment. They don't see the bigger picture. But it's cool. Let him go. I hope he smashes it. He finished 5, 6 goals, 8 goals, whatever it was. I don't even know. Behind Mbappe. 34 million. Didn't even get put in the training. With the squad. Got shunned and put to the side. And then our fans are sitting online going, oh, but he posted a picture on his Instagram wishing somebody happy birthday at Inter. Oh, he's watching our 9 compilations from Inter. Well, you lot were all in your feelings over some guy with a butterfly tattoo on his neck and a love heart on his ankle. Who's stinking it up at Chelsea. Ukraine Bolt, big up X. Ukraine Bolt, that's the funniest thing. But you lot got in your feelings, but when it happens the other way, oh, you don't want that. Okay, cool. I hope he smashes it. Same as Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe's linked to Chelsea. Go there, mate. Tierney's left.
You want again? That was another one. You want Smith-Rowe to go to Chelsea? Why?
Yep. Well, he ain't getting a game at Arsenal. And do you know why? Another reason why? Because when he signs for Chelsea, if he signs for Chelsea, maybe, just maybe, a few more thousand people, 100,000, 200, whatever it may be, yeah, wake up to reality. We have got rid of Smith-Rowe for Kai Havertz. Cool. Go there then. I want him to go there. I wanted Tierney to leave. Well done to Tierney. Yeah, and I rate Tierney so much that he's left England to go to Spain. Yeah, best left back in La Liga. Best left back in La Liga. Yeah, Smith-Rowe, if you're watching this, mate, go Chelsea. Go Chelsea. Yeah, you're not getting in over Martinelli. You're not getting in over Trossard. You're not getting in over Jesus. You're now not getting in over Vieira or Havertz. Go Chelsea, mate. Proper Chelsea. Chelsea. Go Chelsea, mate. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Smith-Rowe should. I don't think Smith-Rowe's really in the plans at your club. And I say that because he was back fit, like in terms of out of his injury from like November last year and barely kicked a ball. Hasn't seen a minute of football this year. You've brought Kai Havertz into the football club. Trossard's come into the football club. I just don't think your manager rates him as highly as Arsenal fans rate him, if I'm being honest with you.
He's a top player, a very top player, right? And again, this little myth that does the rounds about certain players, oh, they're always injured. Yeah, always injured. Oh, Kieran Tierney is injured all the time. Kieran Tierney's not been injured for 18 months. Yeah, and in fact, if you actually go on transfer market, you can do this if you want while we're live. It's up to you, whatever. But I know factually this is correct. Yeah, since Tomiyasu signed for Arsenal, Tomiyasu has been out injured more than Kieran Tierney. Yeah, in terms of games missed and days missed. Right? Since Thomas Partey has signed for Arsenal, yeah, he's spent more time out injured, games missed, and days missed than Kieran Tierney. But the narrative is Kieran Tierney's injury prone. But they wanted Thomas Partey out, they wanted Tierney out, but they were happy to keep Tomiyasu, who's always injured, more than both of them. Makes no sense. But this is what they do. So cool. Tierney at the back. Oh, Tierney's not at the back anymore. We have to change that song, don't we? Yeah, cool. Go and smash it at Real Sociedad, mate. Champions League football. Yeah, my left back. Yeah, my left back. And I've got Granada, Cadiz, Almeria, Betis, Sevilla. I can go and watch him 5 times this season. In fact, I can actually drive all the way to near Bilbao and go and watch him there.
I hear you on that. I mean, they're not in the plan. I get letting them go. Chelsea being interested in him is a real interesting one. I mean, so far, like what's Chelsea's success rate been like of taking Arsenal players? Because I know your success rate of taking Chelsea players isn't very good.
Who have Chelsea taken from us?
Don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Aubameyang went there, but via Barcelona, so we can't really count that.
So yeah, that doesn't count. Like directly,
he went there via Barcelona. Fabregas went there via Barcelona, but direct sale to Chelsea.
That's more the other way, where they've taken quite a lot of yours.
Yeah, Giroud.
You've taken theirs, yeah.
Yeah, Giroud went there. Giroud did all right. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, Giroud did well.
Ashley Cole, there you go. Prime example. Ashley
Cole. Yeah, there you go. It's a very famous one. I can't believe I forgot that one. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Smith-Rowe's good. I'm intrigued to see where he would play at Chelsea. I think Balogun leaving.
Terry, if Conor Gallagher gets in that team, Smith-Rowe's walking in it. Yeah, literally. Conor Gallagher stinking it out for 90 minutes every week in that club. They've done £1 billion and Conor Gallagher starts for them. Yeah, Smith-Rowe walks into that team. Caicedo, Enzo, Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe can play as a 10. He can play off the left. He can play as an 8. Yeah, Smith-Rowe's a top player. Yeah, he's a very good player. Yeah, very, very, very good player. Yeah, he'll get you goals. He'll get you assists. He's got work rate off the ball because I know that's now a thing. Oh, yeah, but what's he doing off the ball? Yeah, that's a Kai Havertz thing. Obviously, if you can't... You need a deeper understanding of the game, Terry, to understand what Kai Havertz brings. So,
yeah, I've read that in a few places. That's so over the top. They're interesting deals to me. I think letting Balogun go, I think that's one that in a few years' time, I know that it's interesting takes. I understand people's point of view. Well, if he's not willing to be a bench player and wait for his chance, we don't want him at the club. I do think this could be a mistake from Mikel Arteta letting him go. I think he's a serious talent. I think he could be a serious goal scorer. But like that, time will tell on that. There's a video that I want to play as well.
Before you play that very quickly, I'm just going to make a bold prediction right now.
Go on, him.
My left back, the best left back on the planet, one that can actually defend rather than you inverted fans loving an inverted fullback. Yeah, my left back will be at Madrid next summer. Yeah, they need a left back. Yeah, they need a left back. They're playing Camavinga at left back. Yeah, next season, Modric and Cruz leave. They're gone next summer. They need a left back. My left back's playing in Spain. He's going to absolutely smash it. New manager comes into Madrid. I can't wait for Kieran Tierney. Hala Madrid. But play the video. Go on.
Yeah, no, I want to play it because a lot of people have sent it to me this week. Now that you're back on Twitter or X, and they're like,
"Oh, they're rattled."
And I want to say this as well. I joked at the beginning about exposing Lee. It's not about exposing Lee. We're going to play the video, but then I want to ask a question ahead of time, and I want a direct answer. I want to know when you're
direct answer.
Comedically, I'm saying you're villain arc, but where and why your mentality towards football and expectations change. Let's take a little listen to this video.
You support the club, not a manager, not an individual. I get it. I get why people want to question decisions. But when you win a football match, what the fuck is your life? Seriously. Come on, man. We've won the game. And our job this season was to get in the top 4. We're well on course to do that. If we win all of our games, we finish 4th. End of debate. End of story. It's as simple as that. We finish 4th if we win our games. So...
And it goes on. And what was interesting for me to see it, and again, you know, I'll always banter you online, and I know we get into like arguments and stuff, we get heated, but I listened to it and I just thought there's such a difference in you now. And I want to say this from the start. I am not showing this video to go, I got ya. It's not about that for me. It's almost when I listen to all the arguments you've had on the show, managers are liars. If you're not winning the Prem, you're a failure. If you get some of your opinions, if you get promoted to the Premier League and you're one of the smallest clubs in the country and you don't win the Premier League, you're a failure. So I don't care what you did last season, winning trophies, you don't win now. Winning games and that don't lead to winning trophies are pointless wins. Goals that lead to wins that don't win to lead to winning trophies are pointless goals. Top 4 isn't something to be celebrated. What changed in you to make your football opinions so vastly different now to what they were 4 or 5 years ago?
Well, according to Twitter, mate, it was YouTube revenue. Because it's that easy to get paid on YouTube that everyone's doing it, isn't they? Like, so easy. Yeah. But if you actually go back to when that was Unai Emery's first season or only season, full season. Yeah. I would have took you as manager over Arsene Wenger. Yeah. That is how much I'd gone. So our job is to back the team, get 4th. Yeah. There was a little bit of sarcasm in there, but at the same time, a lot of realism in there in terms of, I believe everything I said in that video. Yeah. But a little bit sarcastic with it. Yeah. And the funny thing about it is that Arsene Wenger was just happy getting top 4. Then he finished 5th and 6th. Yeah. So for me, Unai Emery comes in. Most of the fan base didn't want Unai Emery. Any manager who came in after Wenger, they were hounding him out. It could have been Jose, it could have been Klopp, it could have been anyone, could have been Pep. They wouldn't have wanted him because it ain't Arsene Wenger, and they're in love with Wenger, which is why they've latched onto my club and buried it. Yeah, because they don't support their local team, they support my team, right? And they've put it in the gutter, right? But at that point, it was, and there's another video. Yeah, I'll find the clip. Right, there's another video where I go, well, our aim this season, and it was me and Chig. RIP to you, my bro. Yeah, it was me and him sat on the stream, and I sat there and I said, if we finish less than 37 points away from the winners of the title, finish 5th, yeah, and get 1 away win, I'm happy.
So
my point is, Wenger's gone.
Sorry. Okay.
I was so deep invested in getting that geezer out, and he has buried this football club. Yeah, because the amount of thousands and millions of people that have supported this club off of the back of a gold title that these legends behind me won. Yeah. And now they've buried this football club. So it was like a release. Okay, cool. He's now gone. I'll take 4th. Yeah, I'll take 4th. Our job this season, we've won a game. Back your manager, because that's what I kept getting told for years and years. Oh, just back him. Look at what he's done for the club. Cool. Unai Emery's here. Back him. Our job this season is to support the team, back the team. And if we win all our games, we finish 4th. But now, fast forward all these years later, yeah. So That could have been any manager. I would have said the same shit.
So no, I understand. So what I heard there, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is that was more sarcasm than real.
It was more real than sarcasm, but there was a big element of sarcasm.
Okay, because again, but what I want you to do is answer my question. Why do you look at football so differently now? So we just spoke about Ten Hag and Man United for a while, and you're like, your manager's a fucking liar because he doesn't speak the full truth. Winning a Carabao Cup in the league and coming third in the league is nothing to celebrate. If you're not winning Premier Leagues and Champions League straight away when new managers come in, you're a failure. You're such a different person now from in terms of your football opinion. What changed in you to make you see football? Because that is, in my opinion, if you were serious in most of that, your lens of how you view football has changed dramatically. Why? What changed in you? Why do you see it so different?
I've had enough. Terry, longest title drought in our history. At the end of this season, it'd be 30 years without a European trophy, 20 without a title. And this club have got the audacity to stitch down the T-shirt, the invincible wins and draws. Yeah, the audacity.
Why is there an audacity in that?
Because we ain't won the league since then.
So you can't celebrate your club's history because you're not winning now.
Oh, is yours gold? Terry, I don't live in Disneyland, and I've moved from that point. That was Emery's only season. So at that point, it was a release off the shoulder after years of battling and fighting and getting Wenger out the club. Yeah. And he did get sacked. I don't care what anyone tells me. That guy got sacked. 10,000 people in the stadium against Man City. David Silva goes 2-0 and they all walk out. Yeah. 20 minutes in, they all walk out. Yeah. That season. Yeah. That could have been literally Steve Boulder's manager. I would have said the same stuff. Yeah. But now we fast forward from that. That fan base, this fan base, got straight on his case as soon as he got the job. Didn't want to back him because they were in love with Wenger. Oh, puppy Wenger, daddy Wenger, oh, big daddy Wengs and all this crap. Yeah, they've latched onto this football club and buried it. Now move forward, we sack him and go and hire a novice. I've had enough. Yeah, at the end of this season, 20 years without a title. Yes, celebrate the Invincibles. Cool. How dare you have the audacity to stitch it on our T-shirt this season?
So I understand that. What I find intriguing about it is sometimes the things you say. So, for instance, when you're talking about a person in isolation, I get you. Ten Hag's a puppet, and he's not nasty towards his players. He's not ruthless and doesn't kick him into the reserves. Therefore, he's a puppet and he isn't doing his job right. And then, and listen, that's a fair opinion. Where I sometimes feel your opinions fall down is when you start to plaster it across football, if that makes sense. Because like a minute ago, you said Roma are like a big club. They have one more league title than Tottenham, about the same amount of domestic trophies, and Spurs have more European success than them. But I don't think you would call Spurs a big club. You'd say they're a tin pot club that wins nothing. And I get that. So sometimes I look at it and think, and again, sometimes it's perception. There are other times where you say things and I'm like, every manager, your opinion is every manager at every Premier League club, barring Pep, is a puppet. And therefore that means the clubs are run poorly, fans should do more. But now you've said what you've said, that you basically had enough. Maybe I understand your villain arc.
I've had enough. I have.
Because you're so angry. This is what I think's happened to you. This is my opinion, listening to what you've said. You're so angry that Arsenal have fouled you. You're projecting your anger out onto everybody else, to a point where last season we had debates on this show where you said to me and the viewers that fans shouldn't celebrate goals in games they win, where in that season they may not go on to win anything. And for me, that's almost, when you look at that clip where you're like, what is your life if you can't celebrate a win? The fact that 4 years later, you don't think any football fan in the country, unless they're going to win their league title, should celebrate goals is, you need therapy, bro. I'm worried. You need to smile, bro.
I need this fan base. I need this. Terry, my life's amazing. Yeah, this football club drives me nuts. Right? This football club has taken the wholesale piss out of us. Yeah, for 2 decades. Right? You can get there in a minute. We smashed Hojbjerg down to compete with Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich had just won 10 in a row. Yeah, Real Madrid have won 6 trophies in 2 years. We ain't won 6 in 20. Yeah. Come on, let's be real with this.
This is the thing. I understand elements, and like I said earlier when we were talking about the Glazers and Ten Hag, I think why I got so angry, and I hold my hands up to it, is because It's not about, again, because because of what you just did then. I was literally about to say, because there are lots of things that I agree with in terms of what you say. But it's when you do this crazy, in my opinion, unattainable level of expectation and behavior from people. So
no, sorry to cut you off. Let me just say very quickly. Sorry to cut you off.
Go on.
No, Man United are the biggest club in England, the biggest budget in England. How dare I expect Man United to win a title or compete for a title?
Okay.
How dare the third biggest club in England, Arsenal, the third biggest club in the country, Arsenal, how dare I expect us with one of the biggest budgets in the league and the world, how dare I expect us to win something?
Again,
right? And how dare I expect the managers of both of them football clubs and Klopp, who I've also called a puppet, right? How dare I expect the three biggest clubs in England to actually act like the three biggest clubs in England? Yeah.
Okay.
How dare
so
I?
Again, let me counter that with saying there's nothing wrong with you expecting them to act like the biggest clubs. However, when you then compare them to say PSG, they should be winning like PSG are winning.
Yep.
By definition alone, that's impossible because
but it's not.
No, let me finish my point and I'll explain to you why it is. PSG have a monopoly over everybody else in their league. If Man United and Arsenal, Liverpool, who are very similar sizes, fan bases, incomes are big, and Chelsea, huge amount of money and income, and Arsenal and City all run themselves impeccably, it's impossible to do what PSG do in terms of winning the league as regularly as they do. And this is where this is what I mean by delving into these arguments and conversations in more detail and not interjecting each other. I get your view is you should be trying to win every year. You've said before that if managers don't win the league every year, they should be sacked. But if you actually have...
if you're going to quote me properly. The aim of the game is to win, right?
Yes.
If you don't win the league, Klopp, for example, Klopp didn't win the league last season. I said, if you don't win nothing this season, sack him.
Okay.
You've now had 2 years.
And that's fair, but let me finish my point so you understand where I'm coming from, because you're arguing back when you don't know what I was going to say. If all these clubs are acting like big clubs in the way you want, let's just say utopia world, they're all doing every year. The managers are calling out their owners. The clubs are being run like Man City, and they've all got brilliant teams. 4 of them every year are still going to lose. So my question to you is this: is it not about winning, or is it about how you behave and how you're run? Because if it's only about winning, then it doesn't matter how well you're run or how poorly you're run. By your own definition, you're going to sack pretty much every manager at some point in the next 2 to 3 years. Or is it about the way they behave that matters more than winning? Because I'm confused now.
Okay, so is the league the only trophy you can win?
No, but I'm using the league. But hang on. But it's not the answer, because Ten Hag won the League Cup, and you said that's not enough.
He keeps his job.
Yeah, but you also, that's not enough. He's got to go and win the Premier League, or he loses his job. So
that's a start. Well done.
Yes,
first season.
Again, but you've said that if he's,
I'm giving you an answer.
But he's got to go and win the league. So you put the league.
Win the league. It's Man United.
Yes. So you put the league as the barometer. If you don't win the league, you lose your job. But if the clubs are run well and the managers are behaving how you want them to, 4 of them every single season are going to not win the league. Factually, it can't be done. They can't all win the league.
Yeah.
So would you keep them in their jobs if they were not winning but behaving the right way? Is my question.
No. Yeah, I don't care. When you say behave in the right way, you think behave in the right way is for your manager to sit there and blow smoke.
No, Lee, can I stop you? Because I don't want to interject, but I'm basing it on your definition of behaving the right way. So calling out owners, sticking players into the reserves if they're not behaving.
I've asked for 5 players.
Please let me finish. So if they're doing all those things and the owners are behaving like Man City's, 4 of those 5 clubs we've mentioned are all going to lose the league guaranteed every year, because only one can win it. You would sack the manager. So I'm asking, so is it not about behavior and only winning, or is it about
go and win the cup then? Go and win the Champions League, Europa League, whatever competition. The league is one trophy. Yes, it's the ultimate. Yeah, for English football, it's the ultimate. Yeah, but you're sitting there talking about PSG. Well, I remember Lille 4 years ago won the title because we signed Nicola Pepe after it. Yeah, I remember 2 years ago. Yeah, that PSG didn't win the league again, did they, Terry? So
no, I understand that point, but let's go back to what I originally said, and it was, I think sometimes you have these unattainable ideologies, and I get why. You've said you've had enough and you're angry and you're fuming, but I think what it's led But I do. What I do think is unattainable is some of the standards you put out there. Based on what I just said, you've said that Man United should do what Bayern Munich and PSG do, but we do not have a monopoly over those leagues in the same way. You sometimes compare like clubs to Real Madrid, who are the biggest and the greatest club in the world. Sometimes sometimes you've said before the speed of which a team improves. So Brighton, you expect them to behave like Man City when they don't have the resources yet, and it's going to take them years to get there. So the point I'm saying to you is that the speed of expectations and the level of expectations you have, in my opinion, are so high that most people will never achieve them. And I believe what you do is you're setting yourself up almost to consistently be angry. Managers have always got to say things the way you want. And I think for me, you said you're angry about the way Arsenal are. And I think sometimes your frustration...
If you're going to quote me properly, I said
if you've had enough, that means... When you say you've had enough, what does that mean? Fed up, angry, upset?
No, it means I've had enough. This club is taking the piss.
Yeah, but your emotion...
And you're saying that I have a level of expectation that is unattainable.
Yes, I do.
All clubs. Load of rubbish. Yes. Brighton, everyone's gassing up De Zerbi. The guy openly admitted he's not in the game to win trophies. Openly admitted it. It's a Sky Sports interview. Go and watch it.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, and they're a team that's growing. But the point I was making is when you say you don't have unattainable standards, you've said that you want clubs to all be run a certain way, and you expect them to all be run at the biggest clubs in England.
They should all be trying to win.
Yeah, they should all be trying to win. But if they're all trying to win and behaving that way, in a season, at least one of them is going to win nothing every year.
Yeah.
But if they're behaving in the right way and they're meeting up to all your standards of behaviors,
okay, so you get a second go, and then on the second go, adios amigo. See you later. Go and get somebody
but that's what I think. That's what I mean, though. But I think you have an unrealistic expectation.
No, it's not unrealistic, Terry. Right? Okay.
It is.
Let's take Brighton as an example, right? Because you and Sava do this to me all the time. Yeah, but let's go Brighton. Yeah, Brighton have made £400 million in player sales in the last 2 summers.
Yes,
they've spent 120 million of that 400. If they spent the other 280, they might have won the league last season. And and if they didn't win the league, they might have beat you, and got to the cup final against City and might have beaten City and stopped them doing a treble, but they didn't invest that money. They didn't put that money back into the club, right? When I look at West Ham, David Moyes has had the job 1 week less than Arteta. They've both won 1 trophy each, but guess what? David Moyes won in Europe. Yeah, David Moyes ain't had a process, phases, Ian Wright wheeling, woohoo, wheel out righty again. Yeah. Martin Keown sitting on TalkSport chatting crap. We ain't got all these ex-players of their club. Let me answer the question. Yeah, my point is every single football club should be trying to win. The problem is the way the structure of the league, the cups, and the Champions League is set up. It's not about winning. It's about maximizing revenue. Yeah. So, if Arsenal finished 5th, which we did 2 years ago, we made £9.7 million less in TV revenue from the Premier League than Man City, who won the league. Where is the incentive for an owner? And yes, we have spent money, but where is the incentive for an owner to now go and do the extra 100 million that might get you over the line to win the league? You should get 9.7 million back.
Again, so I understand that as a point. But the thing is what you just said there about, this is what I mean by challenging your standards. So a moment ago, about half an hour ago, you wouldn't answer a question of mine when I said, what would you say if a puppet was to win a league? You said, well, do it, and then we'll have a conversation.
Yeah, it's hypothetical.
Hang on. Yes, you didn't want to answer a hypothetical. But then your challenge back to Brighton was a hypothetical scenario. If they spent that money, they might have beaten you. They might have done this. But that's hypothetical but that's hypothetical as well. So you can't... Hang on a minute, Lee. You can't refuse to answer hypotheticals, but then use hypotheticals as examples.
I did answer the hypothetical. You're saying I refused to answer it, but I actually answered it and said, we'll do it.
No, but that's not an answer.
I'm now doing it again
Lee, that's not an answer. My question was, what would you say if they were to win it? You wouldn't do it, and then I'll tell you.
Do it.
That's not answering the question. That is deflecting. That's deflecting.
I get people come in my comments every day, Terry, and say, oh, this guy would still be angry if Arsenal win the treble. We'll go and do it then, and we'll see.
But this is the thing.
If Brighton had spent the extra 280, that they made in profit rather than putting it in their owner's pocket.
Listen, bro. Again, where I agree with you, and this is where I sometimes we miss each other on these shows, is I agree with you that I want Man United as an overall football club have higher standards. I absolutely do. And I see a lot of people in the comments saying Terry has no standards. Then you haven't watched my Man United videos that have come out in the last week. If you go and
Terry
watch
loves
them,
Ten Hag chatting shit about Maguire. He loves it.
but that's not true. But that isn't true at all. You know, it's again, I just want a certain type of behavior that I know works
No,
at
you
football
just want
clubs.
something to lie rather than saying the truth.
No, but that isn't the truth. But that isn't what I said. That isn't what I said.
You did. You said I'd rather him be professional. I said he's lying.
No, professional is not lying.
Well, he's lying. He's sitting in press conferences lying. Same as Arteta's sitting in press
Again, your use of the word lying.
They're lying.
Is a fair opinion, but Pep does that as well, though.
They're all doing it. No,
So
Pep is
hang on a minute. If Pep's in a press conference, no, but he doesn't.
But he still lies. But he lies less than the rest of them.
Okay, so he's a liar. But so in your opinion, every single manager in the world is a liar.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that tells you. So what do we do about that? So we be angry at all of them and not listen to any of them? I don't understand what your point is.
Win, Terry. The aim of the game is winning. We don't need all of this irrelevant opinions.
So it's not about behaviour. It's if you lie but win, it's okay. If you lie and lose, it's
you're
not.
a lying winning manager. I'd rather a lying bastard.
But this is the point about your unrealistic expectations in terms of the league title. 19 managers are going to lose it every year.
Point you're making is got to the point. 19 managers going to lose.
But you're only happy for them to lie in press conferences if they win. So how do they know at the start of the season in a press conference whether they're going to win the league or not?
Because they know the budget, they know the expectation, they know the fact.
This is what I mean, Lee. You sit there and get angry about managers lying and say it should stop. But then you say you can lie and get away. I won't mind if you lie if you win, but only one person can win. Okay. So what do you want? It's almost like oxymoronic. It's a weird standard, so you can be angry. I don't get it.
Terry, how is it a weird standard? Yeah, right. We don't need all of these irrelevant bullshit opinions. Yeah, that you have, I have, the chat have. Yeah. The fact is, one person lifts a trophy to win the title. The other 19 have lost. Oh, but progress. No, don't listen to Sky Sports, mate. There ain't no top 4, top 6. Yeah, this don't happen in any other country other than England. Why are PSG ultras turning up at Neymar's house? Imagine that happened in England.
Right, but that's nothing to do with the point I'm making. Answer the question. I'm getting
to my point, which is what you were doing 45 minutes ago.
But you said that before.
Speaking for 10 minutes.
Answer the question, though. Answer the question.
But you're not letting me give context. The answer.
But you don't like. But you got angry earlier that I was trying to give context to my point. So which is it?
No, Terry. Let's not play the game here. Yeah, let's not take the piss.
Well, you said earlier, Terry, you like to answer all these questions so you can build more context. Why are you that's fine.
When I do it, you cut me off. I said the same thing. I'll go and flip it and send you it. Yeah?
Go on then. I
said, you give all this 10-minute context, 5 different avenues, but when I give it, you want a snappy answer. No, don't worry like that. Yeah, I'll go and find that clip and send you it because I said that. Yeah. When you have a country that is dramatic in terms of the TV footage of the games, top 6 races hotting up. What do you mean top 6? Yeah. I sat there with Henry Wright the other day and I said, where do you think you finish? Oh, we're going to have a great season. I said, where are you finishing? He went 6th. So how's that a great season? Because we're getting the Europa League. I said, okay, cool. You're going to win it? Probably not. Well, how's that a great season then? And this is what Sky Sports have done to fans. This shit don't happen in any other country.
And I understand that. But what's that got to do with managers lying and not lying?
Because managers that lie, they all lie, Terry. Ancelotti sat in a press conference the other day and said our transfer business is done. Yeah.
So why are you angry at Ten Hag for lying?
A serial winner, one of the greatest. So wait, because you're asking.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So cool. But guess what? They're currently sat top of the league and they will win stuff this season. Okay. So cool. You can get away with finessing fans a little bit. But Ancelotti will also speak maybe 60% truth, 40% crap. Yeah? Jurgen Klopp, Arteta, Ten Hag, they're speaking maybe 90% crap and 10% truth.
How many? Them
clubs are not winning.
You don't lead, but this is why I'm going to call you out, bro. But this is why I'm going to call you. I've got to stop you for a minute. I've got to call you out, right? Because you quoted something earlier that Ten Hag said, and you didn't even know his exact words that he used. You knew the headline around the full control.
Roughly what he said.
Yeah, because you don't. Because I know I'm going to make a bet here. Do you sit there and watch the 30-minute press conference every week that Ten Hag gives?
Nope.
So how do you know if he's? Do you do Klopps? Do you watch Klopps?
No. Maybe.
So if you don't watch it, how do you know that 90% of what he said is a lie?
Because he's sitting there being asked premeditated questions that have been vetted by the comms guy, or girl, or woman, unicorn.
They all do that. Yes, they all do it.
Right?
They all do it.
They all do. Every single club in the world does it, which is why I know they're all bullshitters.
So they're all puppets. But you've answered the question from earlier now about what you do if a puppet. But you've answered it. That's answering the question for me. And I want to say this is the point.
For you it is, but for me it ain't. Because you've got no context behind what I'm saying. All you've got is your quick answer.
I don't think it needs context.
Well, it does need context. They're all puppets.
But how can you call someone a liar when you don't watch what they say?
Terry, they're all puppets because it's been vetted by the comms person. Yeah. So, we don't want to go down this route today. You can ask questions about that.
Okay.
And then the journalists, I know this because I know journalists that sit in press conferences, Terry. They sit there and go, so what does the club want to get out of this today? Yeah. Why do you think they talk about Scott McTominay or Harry? Why do you think Bruno sits in a press conference for a Europa League game or a champ? Yeah. Because now it's the Bruno hype because that's what they want to get out of it. Yeah. We get it with Eddie. Eddie and Nketiah hype. Well, Eddie ain't played for 4 weeks. By signing this guy, Jesus, what does that do for Eddie and Nketiah? Like, what does that mean for? Right. They're so basic with their questioning, yeah. And my point is, they already know the questions. Arteta walks out in that press conference the same as every other manager. He already knows what's getting asked, yeah. So they're bullshitting.
Okay, but this is, let's go back to the original part of this conversation. So they're all liars, every manager. But what you don't seem to have a problem with is managers that win and lie.
Yeah. Okay. I'd rather a lying winner than a lying loser.
So, but you have at least on 4 occasions on our shows in the last couple of months called Ten Hag a liar. But this is the manager who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trophies to his name as a manager. 9 trophies to his name. Yeah. And in his first year in England, won a trophy and made us a better football team in the league. And and the trajectory's been up. So if he's a proven winner in his history and he's moving towards winning other trophies, but you're not happy for him to lie. So so my point to you is, what does Ten Hag have to win for you not to sit on here and call him out to lying?
So now you're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm not.
You're not happy for him to lie. No, I'm saying, again, context.
You don't call out Pep for lying, but you call out Ten Hag for lying.
I'm calling out BS. I'm calling out Klopp for lying. Look at what Klopp's won.
Yes. Again, my question is...
Wait. I've just called out Ancelotti for lying. Look at what he's won. Yeah? But you're saying you're happy for Ten Hag to lie, but look at what he's done. He's put us on... So what does he have to win for it to be cool? Terry, context is key.
Yes.
He's a liar over Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, and David De Gea and Ronaldo. Yeah.
So what does that matter? What does that matter? He won though. But he won. But he won something when doing that. So why are you moaning?
Because if you let me finish,
why then? It doesn't make sense.
Well, it don't make sense if you cut me off after 10 seconds, does it? Like, come on. Yeah. The fact is, he's lying about Harry Maguire. So well done. You completed the game last season. You won a trophy. Well done. Yeah. But guess what? You're sitting blowing smoke up a player's ass that is on 190 grand a week. That you want to leave the football club, the club want him to leave the football club, but because you've blown so much smoke up his ass because you've lied all season, and handled the whole captaincy thing wrong, that geezer's now not leaving. I'm not leaving. Okay. The show goes on. So on that basis, I'll hold him accountable. My point is, yes, he won, and he lied, and he does lie every week. Okay. But well done, you won. Yeah, you won a trophy. Fantastic. I'd love it. No, let me finish.
Okay. I'm just saying, okay.
My point is, at the end of this transfer window, when your fans get to reality settings and Harry Maguire's back in the team and you win fuck all this season because you ain't winning nothing,
How do you know that? How do you know that?
But I'm predicting it. Like you predicted Liverpool to win the league and I predicted Chelsea to finish above Arsenal.
Okay. Right. So again,
Right. My point is when Harry Maguire's stinking it out again next season, all your fans are in meltdown and you're in meltdown. Yeah. Blame your manager who lied in a press conference.
Okay. So again, like I said, so managers can lie as long as they win, and then you won't have a problem.
I'd rather a winning bastard than a lying bastard. Yeah.
Okay,
and
so
a losing
up until now,
liar, win.
Again, but
liar,
this is why I'm calling you out. So you can. So the only two managers in the Premier League you shouldn't be calling out this season are Pep and Ten Hag, because they're the only ones who won anything.
No, David Moyes.
And Moisey, Moisey as well.
But guess what? That was last season, Terry. We now start from a clean slate.
But we're still the champions of that. Oh, so, okay, but then that doesn't make sense, because then it means you can slag them off all year, and if they win at the end of it, the season ends, and then you can start slagging their lives off again. So why are you not calling Pep out for being a puppet? Because he ain't won nothing this year, is he? He won the Super Cup. No, you're right. You can't call him out this year, to be fair. But that means, hang on, that means does Community Shield not count?
No. That ain't
okay, okay, I'm just checking.
That's a glorified soccer, Terry.
This is what I mean by, this is what you do though, Lee. So what'll happen is you'll slag a manager off all year, he'll win something, and then the season starts again, and you ignore what he's won in the past and say, well, he's a fucking lying bastard again.
Terry, let me give you an example, Let me give you the basic premise, The easiest way to sum this up, right? Would you keep getting it when you worked at Barclays? Would you keep getting praise, and given chance after chance after chance, for what you've done previously? You probably would, wouldn't you?
To a degree, yes.
To a degree, exactly. Thank you very much. You said exactly what I wanted you to say. And on that basis, there we go. So to a degree, because you performed really, hang on, because you performed really well last year, Terry.
Yes.
And you've got Barclays all this money and income and this and that.
Yes.
It was fantastic, and unicorns and all that. Yeah. But what are you doing for me now? So last year is irrelevant to a certain degree. You've just admitted that.
To a certain degree. So the point is, on Eric,
okay.
I thought you were done. Go on, make your point then.
Well, you thought I was done when she cut me off again.
No, because I thought you said there we go, and you stopped.
To a certain degree, what you did last year is irrelevant. That's what you're saying. To
a certain degree. So let me. No, thank you. Because I haven't. I'm going to delve deeper. So what I've achieved in years gone by would allow me for, if I had a bad start to the new financial year, or I had a good start and a bad middle, I would get far more leeway and support and given an opportunity to rescue my year. And even then, someone that's been poor for the last 2 or 3 years, even if I didn't hit target one year, which by the way never happened to me, I would not have been downgraded or my bonus impacted as bad as a regular poor performer. So based on your point, go back to your point around at the end of the year, you cut it off and you start afresh, and your reputation should be ignored. That doesn't happen in reality, because you have credit in the bank. But it doesn't happen. Hang on. It doesn't. You have credit in the bank. You have credit in the bank.
Oh, it's
you have
mad.
Credit in the Lee. But you have credit in the bank. Let me just finish. You have credit in the bank. So
does Jurgen.
Yeah, of course he does. And that's why Jurgen Klopp wasn't sacked after one bad year as a Liverpool manager.
Thank you, which is why you would not be sacked after one bad start.
But we're not talking about sacking. We're talking about lying. You said earlier.
No, we've gone away from lying. We're talking about.
We haven't gone away from that at all. We haven't gone away from that because this goes back to the original point was around. You have weird, unrealistic expectations. So 1 minute you're saying, 1 minute you say, but this is the point I'm asking. This goes back to the original question: is it all about winning, or is it about behavior, or both? And for me, what I'm hearing is it's just about winning. You'll ignore whatever a manager. Hang on. You'll ignore whatever a manager does unless he wins, right? And that's absolutely fair. But the problem within that, and why I think it's an unrealistic way to look at things, is that every year, some of these top managers that might win 3 or 4 years on the bounce are going to have periods where they don't win as well, because other teams might slightly overtake them. But if their behaviors are the same, suddenly you're going to have an issue with them. That doesn't make sense. No,
it doesn't make sense.
And it's a big difference. At my job, if I was behaving well, being professional, turning up on time, doing my prospecting, treating customers brilliantly, but not quite hitting my sales after being successful and doing all the right practices, you never got dismissed or in trouble. The only time you got in trouble was when you misbehaved, when you were toxic, when you were nasty, when you were horrible. So the point I'm making is your behaviors and success, you want both of them together. You want a well-behaved person and a highly successful person. If you fail though on the success, the very least you have to be is professional and and have the right practices.
Yeah, but you think in my opinion, lying in public. So your level.
Again, but everybody does that in public. No, but they do. Hang on a minute. If I was standing in a room in front of my staff and I'm talking, and somebody said, "Oh, how's so and so getting on?" I wouldn't go, "Do you know what? I think she's absolutely shit at her job." I would have to be because you can't talk to people like that in the real world.
you can talk to people like that.
No. So
reality,
hang on. So you're telling me if I'm
you're
sitting there,
going to smoke up somebody's
hang
ass
on a
and
minute,
you think
hang on a minute,
shit
hang on a minute,
to
hang on a
make
minute.
her
So you're
feelings or his
you're
feelings
telling me,
feel better.
hang on, Lee. You're telling me,
Wow.
Viewers, listen to this. You're in a morning meeting at work. The manager standing up there and he said, listen, I want to thank Jane yesterday. Jane was outstanding in her work. Omar, you were absolutely impeccable. Suchel, you were the bee's knees yesterday. Maria, you were dog shit. I don't even know why you get out of bed every morning because you're crap at your job. You think the manager should do that in front of everyone?
I've done that in meetings, Terry. I've done that in meetings. Your performance last week was dog shit. You weren't good enough.
You cannot do that in a genuine corporate or professional environment. Building site, fair enough.
So okay, slow down.
Again, this is a professional environment. You cannot do that, Lee. Bollocks.
So in a professional corporate environment, it's just all bullshit, then, isn't it?
So again,
to blow smoke up people's asses. Again, you saying
yes, but this is what you do.
Yes,
this is what you do. No, this is what you do. Publicly in front of people, you don't dig them out. Privately, you handle it.
No,
and that is what the real managers do. Jurgen Klopp isn't going to sit in a press conference and dig his player out. What he's going to turn around and do is do it behind the scenes. He isn't going to tell the world what he's doing behind the scenes because it's unprofessional and wrong.
Unprofessional.
It is unprofessional.
It is letting the fans that are millions and millions of Premier League clubs, millions of fans, letting them know that, yo, I've got an issue with this guy. I don't want this guy at my club. I've sat in meetings when I've been team leader, manager, branch manager, whatever, and I've dug people out and said, your performance last week, you better fix up or you're gone, mate. Yeah, and I've done that in front of 20 people. Yeah, you were superb. Well done to you. Round of applause for Stephen. Yeah. You, Dave, yeah, you were crap, mate. Yeah, you better fix up. You're on your last legs. Now Dave knows, oh, shit, I better do well this week. And if Dave can't hack it, he's gone. Yeah? Wakey, this is the real world.
So again, I in my personal opinion, when I first started work, it was a bit more like that. But the world has changed, and you've got to adapt.
Yeah, the world has changed, but I ain't because guess what?
But that's fine. But this is what you're not listening to, right? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that isn't how managers have to behave. So the example would be if you went into a corporate or any professional environment now. Say you become the manager.
2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do it.
No, I can't do it.
You can't do it.
I have to say what I think. Yeah,
yes,
I can't bite
you
my
get
tongue.
sacked. You can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm admitting that. Why are you arguing?
because that's why the managers can't come out in public. Yeah. They're under contract not to say certain things.
Okay,
the certain NDAs they can't do it.
Okay, so on that basis, when they took the job, they knew the terms and conditions. So they're puppets then.
Again, so every employee is a puppet. We're all puppets then. You're a puppet.
There you go. Well done. We got there in the end.
You're a puppet.
Thank you very much.
But this is the difference. Are you a puppet?
I'm not a puppet because I say what I want.
Yes, I guarantee you won't say certain things on YouTube that would get your YouTube account shut down, suspended, and kicked off.
That doesn't mean I'm a puppet, Terry.
Yes, it does. You're following their rules. No. You're following their rules. You won't say it. You won't say things. Would you go on your YouTube channel tonight and do that? Would you? No.
I'll give an example. I'll give an example because you're saying I won't say certain things. I say everything I want to say, but I say it in a smart way. Yeah, rainbow.
So tactful, professional, tactful.
No, you mean tactful and professional. Yeah, not tactful and professional. Because I'm anything but professional, Terry. Yeah, but if I want to sit there and cuss off the rainbow merchants,
you're a puppet.
I'll cuss the rainbow merchants, but I'll do it in a way that ain't getting me banned. Yeah?
Okay, so you do it in a tactful way. You're not going to get banned. The difference is where you're wrong about things is this: you call everyone a puppet who's following the rules of their employment or the law or whatever it may be. That's not being a puppet. That's just being a good person. If everybody took your lead and said what they want when they want, to hell with the consequences, everyone would lose their jobs. No one would have a YouTube account. The world would fall the fucking apart. You can't behave like that, Lee.
Because the owners of these companies would wake the fuck up, Terry, yeah? Bollocks. Because if everyone lost their job, nobody's going to work, right? So no company's making money, right? So on your basis alone, and your
how horrible a place would it be at work if everybody spoke to each other exactly how they thought and felt? How nasty a place would that be to work?
Yeah, that should be real.
So you think the world would be a better place?
Hi Jane.
No, Lee, just very quickly, you think the world would be a better place if everybody just spoke?
Yeah.
All the time, at every moment. Fair enough. You
100%.
think that? I think you're mad deluded. I'm gonna go to some of these super chats here.
It's
I think you are.
If
I want to go
everyone
to
actually said what they thought, the world wouldn't be so battered as it is right now.
No, I think there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place, and there's certain things where you should speak your mind. When it comes to my children, I'll speak my mind.
I mean, what
no,
you
but you don't need to do it all the time.
You do.
You don't always.
If
No,
I don't
you don't
like
need to do
you,
it all
I'll
the
tell you
time.
I don't like you, and I think you're a see you next Tuesday. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
but sometimes you don't need to.
No, sometimes you do need to.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes
you do need to, and sometimes is all the time, Terry. Because guess what? The difference between me and you, right? The difference between me and you, and listen, you're way more successful than I am. I accept that. Yeah. The reason your channel's 3 times, 4 times bigger than mine, is because you're more respectful, you're more political, you're more professional, whatever. I just say what I want.
I guarantee you. What do you
say? What I want, Terry. I don't care whether people like me. I'm not looking for friends.
About that. I'll give you an example. Is there a heavyweight boxer you don't like?
Not really. Maybe Derek Chisora. Don't like him really.
Would you go up to him and tell him what you really thought about him to his face?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Bollocks. No way.
Bollocks. Because he's a big guy. What's he going to do? Punch me and do his boxing license? Do me a favor.
You wouldn't do it. You would not walk up to someone like that and do it.
You wouldn't. Because you think that because he's a big guy and I'm a skinny guy, he's going to punch me and that's it.
You would not go up to Derek Chisora and tell him what you really thought of him.
I would.
I wouldn't either. Because
I wouldn't
be.
No, Terry,
listen, this is what I mean. Consequences.
Ask Troops, Ask Troops this. We was outside Stamford Bridge, right? Outside Stamford Bridge. And Wenger, and you know where Stamford Bridge is, and any Chelsea fan or anyone that's been to Stamford Bridge knows that the players walk out and the fans and the team bus is literally on you.
Yeah, I've been there.
Right? Troops, ask him the question, because I ain't bullshitting here. Wenger was standing there signing autographs and signing match day programs and T-shirts. We just lost the game. Yeah, I looked him. I moved in. Yeah, and I went, get the fuck out of my football club. You've destroyed my football club. I looked him square in the eyes. But wait, because he's a tall, lanky, skinny guy like me, that's acceptable. But you think I won't go up to Derek Chisora and tell him I think he's a shit boxer? Yes, I would.
I know you. Listen, we'll agree to disagree. We'll agree to disagree. I don't believe you would. I need to go to these super chats. We've got 62 of these mofos. This one here says, since this convo has gotten philosophical, I will say this. Everyone is a slave in this world, but you're either a slave to your desires or a slave to God. Fair enough. Only military work like that with that. To a degree. Sports is very militant as well. You have to have hierarchy within sport as it falls apart. Same as in the family. A 12-year-old girl would hammer Lee. I'm not
going down that Jimmy Savile route, mate.
Yeah. Lee and Terry, unstoppable force meets immovable object. This is true. I love it. Again, what top players would want to play for a manager that roasts players they don't like in public? Lee never works in a professional setting.
Go and ask Jose.
Yeah. Lee just quit football, mate. You've seen enough, bro, is what's been said here. If the manager and clubs do what they are supposed to and try their best to win, then that makes the league more competitive. Facts. I agree with that 100%. To be fair, Terry, in a work environment, you can do that, but the manager will most likely get punched in the face. But that's just me. Depends where you work. Depends on the environment. Madrid's a proper club. Why hasn't Ancelotti been sacked?
In the last 2 years, mate.
Is your favorite manager a puppet?
Because in the last 2 years, which is more than we've won in 20.
I get you on that. So again, it's not behavior, it's winning people.
No, wait, hold up. And guess what? Because now you want to talk about Madrid. Cool. We'll talk about Madrid because I know it inside out. Let me tell you now. Every single, go to their Twitter account. When they lost the title, when the day Barcelona won the league and Real Madrid tweeted, go and have a look at every single comment. Ancelotti, sack him. I'm baffled they didn't sack him. But having said that, he did win a trophy last season, and he won 5 the year before. So if you hold this club accountable for winning 6 in 2, why don't you hold my club accountable for winning less than that in 20?
I hear what you're saying.
Different standards, right?
Ancelotti is 100. Just in interest of time, with so many of these, I'm really sorry. Ancelotti is 100% a puppet. Perez controls everything. I get you. Lee, you have to realize you support Arsenal. You're an FA club. You're the Valencia of England at best. You're using Madrid standards for Arsenal because they promised him they would. Lee, forget this Faguna crap. Support Bayern. They want you at Bayern, mate. Hey, Terry, Lee, we were told we get smashed down Highbury to compete with the best. Lie, we built it for the Super League. 20 years in the making. It's coming. Fact, could be. New drinking game when Lee says context. I like that one. Lee, I agree with you on Arteta and your waffling. But your waffling is what he says there. Usually I like this show, but today is pure brain rot. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's gone off a bit. Thank you, Andy, for your super chat. You didn't say anything, but thank you. I appreciate it. If Roma don't win a trophy this season, should Jose be sacked? If Arsenal win the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, do you want Arteta to stay? We'll ask that one of Lee when he comes back. Lee, should Pep have been sacked in 2016-17 and 2019-20? I think he'll say no because of work that's come before him. I think Lee would say no to that one. Let's go to some more of these from earlier today. Eddie nearly broken his goal record. Lol. Don't want fat mid-row. Would rather shy Havertz is what Grey Wolf Dinner says. Arsenal were going to go for Osimhen come deadline or another high performer. No, there's no way Arsenal are doing that, in my opinion. Okay, I'll come back to ones for Lee. Why is Ben Shite at centre-back and not right-back? Well, we know Lee's answer because they're shoehorning Kai Havertz in. Well, I know what he's going to say to that. Name 3 better right-wingers than Saka. It's hard to do. In the Premier League, literally Salah. I think he's on par or better than everybody in the Premier League on that one. Market reset and isn't getting cheaper with Saudi money. 330 million is the new 65. You could be right, mate. Big up, Lee. Are you doing a watch along tonight? I'll ask him when he comes back. I'll come back to the questions for Lee. Tagliafico would be good left back option for United because Ten Hag knows him from Ajax days and also can get the best out of him. Maybe. I think he's just past his best now. Aren't the Glazers the owners of United? Of course, it always comes back to them. Always, Plasma fam. Always. I don't like what they say about you, Lee. You have been an absolute delight to read on Twitter. Let the haters hate. You're a top man. Forest is bigger than Arsenal, according to Lee. No, I'm going to have to ask Lee that one. Pep left Barca the moment the board fired him. Don't get that. Big up, Terry. You're absolutely destroying Sky Sports. I have done in the last few days. Please play the clip. We already played that clip, but thank you very much for that super chat. Non-emotional Lee is emotional. We'll both get emotional on this show. Afternoon, Terry and Lee. Random question. When Usain Bolt broke the 100-meter sprint record, whoever finished second is a failure. Usain Bolt is superhuman. You can definitely look at it that way. Smith-Rowe better than Gallagher. Stop waffling is what Grey Wolf Dinner has got to say here.
3 better wingers than Saka. Right wingers. Rodrigo, Mahrez, and Kingsley Coman. Cry more. They've all won major honours, mate. Adios, amigo.
Oh my God, bring that Lee back. Legend. He's what Mr. Ty Vox says.
Mr. Ty Vox, man.
Baku was Lee's villain arc. Yeah, I agree. Terry literally asking Lee who hurt who. I always love this show. Big up Lee spitting facts on Tierney and Smith-Rowe leaving. Huge fan of Lee. Lads, I'm still confused on the Havertz signing. Many people. Don't worry, bro.
Yeah, if you have to have a deeper understanding of football to understand what he means to the game.
That's not me. That's Peter Crouch, Lee Bummer. Is what's been said there. Charlie Brown knows football. Lee, I respect your outspoken nature, but you must be deluded because you will be quiet as a church mouse if you walked up to someone like Mike Tyson and said something.
I ain't got a problem with Mike Tyson. But I'll tell Chisora he's a shit boxer to his face. And if you think otherwise, mate, that's up to you. Yeah, that's how I am.
Lee says 3 things you disagree with brother. Say 3 things you disagree with expressions on.
Champagne Lane. Definitely into Champagne Lane, mate. Yeah. What's he called it? What's he called the manager? What does he say? I can't remember. He put kangaroo in there or something. I can't remember. I love X, man. He's a top boy.
Yeah, he's great. I love his stuff. Lee is following morality being a puppet. We're all puppets. This is what I don't get about it. If we're all puppets and all managers are liars, why get angry? Because we all do it. They do it. I don't get the point of being annoyed
be a
about
winning puppet then,
but
rather than a losing puppet. It's pretty simple, Terry. It's
only one a year can do it.
Be a winning puppet.
By your logic, everybody's a loser always.
Yeah, until you win. And then even when you win, you have to maintain winning.
But then as soon as the new season starts, the day after winning, the end of the season, everyone's a loser again.
Yeah, and that is the difference between Real Madrid mentality and Man City mentality compared to every other club on this planet. Yeah. But do you think Real Madrid care what they won the Copa del Rey last year? No, it's about now.
Mad. You're mad.
No, this is why English football clubs are buried, Terry.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
We're not buried.
Do you think Real Madrid cared that Ancelotti won the Copa del Rey last season? No.
That isn't the point that was made.
This season.
That's not the point that was made. Lee, that's not what we're talking about.
No, but you just said exactly. No, you just asked me a question. Do you think that when we get to 0 and we start again, that don't matter? We're all losers. Yeah, we're all losers because we're all starting on the same point. We're all losing right now. Every single one of us is losing. Yeah. And at the end of you can laugh all you like. This is why Real Madrid and Man City get the aim of the game and nobody else does. And that is why they will continue to keep winning and winning.
But they're losers now as well.
They're
losers now. Man City right now are losers.
Man City ain't won nothing this. Well, actually, they won the Super Cup.
Yeah, but the point. No, that isn't the point. The point is,
as it stands, Real Madrid are losers.
Their managers can't lie. Yeah. So you
as
don't like
Real Madrid are losers.
So Simeone right now is your bum. He's a loser.
He won 7-0 last night, and he's a bum right now. You better win something this season.
You don't believe this. When was the last?
I do, Terry. This is where you get me wrong. Listen, let me say one thing. Right? I've sent you voice messages, Terry. I've sent you voice messages between me and my friend. Big up Jolien, because I'll get him to watch this. He's probably watching it anyway. You have heard voice messages of me and my friend talking like this offline, via WhatsApp. Yeah, I sent you it when you was it Patrick? Yeah. And he said, "Oh, I don't believe that you're just doing it for the value, like the comedic value, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "No, cool." And I sent you a couple of voice messages between me and my friend offline, and they were saying exactly the same thing, right? Yeah. As it stands right now, Ancelotti and Simeone have won nothing this season. So right now they're currently losing.
So, question for you: just time scale with Simeone. He hasn't won the league for 2 years now. How many years can he go without winning the league before his lies will make you angry like you are at Ten Hag?
Well, it depends. If he wins a trophy this season, he keeps his job. The comment you had earlier when I was going to the bathroom about if Arteta wins this cup and this cup, win a trophy, mate.
So because he's won so if he wins any trophy this year, no slander for Simeone.
Keep your job.
So next year. So why are you slandering Ten Hag this year when he won a trophy last year?
Because I wasn't slandering him, Terry. I was giving you factual information about what he's saying.
Why are you not calling out other managers you didn't win last year?
Because we were talking about Ten Hag and Man United.
But you don't ever slag off Ancelotti or Simeone.
Yeah, I do.
You praise them all the time.
Yeah, but guess what? They keep winning, mate. Yeah, but I do slag them off.
Ten Hag keeps winning.
Well, Ten Hag don't keep winning, but my point is he don't keep
winning. Ten Hag won everything.
He won last season.
A trophy every year for the past 5 years. As Simeone. Simeone.
Simeone hasn't. Yeah. Now go and check resumes, mate.
Okay, cool. So it's not just about 1 year. It's about resumes. So the history does matter now. History matters now. See, people easy with League Gunner.
If Ancelotti doesn't win a trophy this season, it's irrelevant to Real Madrid because he's leaving anyway. But he will be a failure this season. So and Real Madrid fans
does your history matter or not? Does your history matter or not?
Not really. Like when people talk about Arsenal's 13 league titles, mate, how many of you were alive before 2000? Yeah, like 98.
Bro, this is the thing that I would say to you, right? So I get your take on Arteta, but this is why you can't just sack a serial winner for not winning a league for a few years. You have to contextualize. You can't. Because this is why I say this is why. But
this is how standards of a football club get put in the mud, which is why our club
but you subscribe to that notion because you praise Simeone and say how amazing he is and everything else. He ain't won the league for 2 years. You're not.
No, hold up.
He hasn't take over your club.
Hold on. He hasn't won it for 1 year.
2 years. He won it in
1 year.
2001.
Barcelona.
Hang on. He won it in
season. He won it
2001.
the year before. 21-22 seasons, Harry.
No, he didn't.
So
This
1 year.
No, this says here, honors as a manager. He won it in 2013-14 and 2020-21. It's 2 years he ain't won it for Simeone.
So I'm lying. Real Madrid won it the year before. My bad.
So the point I'm making is you pick and choose your standards if you like someone.
If you don't win nothing this season, he should be gone. He should be sacked.
So if he doesn't win this season, would you still want him as your manager?
Yeah.
Why? But he's a serial loser now. We ain't won, and history don't matter.
No, see, this is where you don't get context, and you just try and waffle.
I'm not waffling. But he does.
So because he didn't win the league for 2 years, and this is where football fans. Well, it'll be 3 years by the end of this season if he don't win it, right?
Yes.
But this is where football fans bury football clubs, right? If he don't win the league this season, which is highly unlikely because Ancelotti's winning it, Real Madrid are pissing that title.
Right. Okay.
Xavi's getting sacked. Atleti comes second. Who cares where Barca come? He's getting sacked. Right.
Okay.
My point is, you as a football fan mimic and parrot millions of football fans that have latched onto these English clubs. And I know you ain't latched onto it, but my point is, these people latch onto these English clubs. They listen to this media bullshit. And they drop their standards. And this is how standards get so dropped that teams like Man United and Arsenal have now gone this long without a title. Because guess what? Yes, he might go 3 years without a title. But I take him at Arsenal. Do you know why? Go and have a look at what he's won at Real Madrid, Atleti. He's won 1 trophy less than Arsene Wenger. He's won in Europe twice. He's got to 2 Champions League. Wait. He's won the league title up against the 2 biggest clubs on the planet. But now, guess what? Just because he didn't win the league for 3 years there doesn't mean he ain't going to come to England and win it.
But this is where I'm challenging.
But if he doesn't win it, he's sacked.
Lee, not on that point. That point of because of his history, you'd still want him. I agree with. But only 20 minutes ago in this conversation, you said in terms of your judgment of Ten Hag, once the season ends, what he's done before is irrelevant. It's what you've done for me.
Yeah. At your football club, Terry.
Let me finish. So at your football club. So someone's history and someone's past achievements at their previous clubs and your club should be ignored when they manage you, but not if they're sacked and go to another football club.
No, you see, you're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's what you just said, Lee.
Terry,
Lee, let me just explain the
Here we go again.
You have just said it doesn't matter if Simeone doesn't win the league for 3 years. You would still employ him because of his CV and body of work.
No, wait. I never said it doesn't matter.
Let me finish. You equally just said that.
I never said it. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said it doesn't matter.
You definitely said that what Ten Hag did last year at Man United is irrelevant. It's a new season. So why does Ten Hag's CV at Man United not matter when he's still at our club? But yet 3 years of not winning a trophy for Simeone is irrelevant because he's got a good CV. What's the difference? Why can't a manager use his CV at the club he's at and what he won before? It doesn't make sense.
No, it does make sense, Terry. The fact and reality is we know, right? I'll give an example right now. If you employ Simeone this season, is he winning you the title? Or do you have a better chance to win the title than with Ten Hag? Yes or no?
It's a hypothetical. You said we shouldn't answer
Okay, so it's hypothetical. Cool. So what I'm saying is he don't win the league this season at Atleti, he's most likely getting sacked. Yeah, and if he don't get sacked, he might leave. Right? That doesn't mean that I won't take him at Arsenal because I've got a sample size to see how he plays ball, how his teams maneuver, how his philosophy is. Forget the trophies for 1 second. Yes, they are important. They're the most important. But come to my club. I know he's a nasty fucker. I know he's a shithouse. And I know that it'll rile up everyone. Yeah? Yeah. So on that basis alone, I'm now wanting him. Now you check the trophies. They're a secondary based on his previous clubs. Ten Hag. Yeah, so no, you're smiling like the Cheshire Cat. Yeah, the trophies do come from previous when you employ a new manager, Terry. But let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish.
Go on.
Trophies do matter when you're employing a new manager, but they're not the be-all and end-all. Yeah, De Zerbi's won 1 trophy in 11 years.
So can I just say, right? This is the point I'm making. You don't care to a degree about Simeone for not winning a league title for 3 years. You will look back at his CV.
You're putting words in my mouth.
No, let me finish talking. You'll get what I'm saying. You don't care that he hasn't won it for 3 years because, and tell me if I'm wrong, you've just said this, because of his behavior, the way he would rile people up, because of his CV, because of his past winning mentality, you would still take him, correct? You would ignore the last 3 years of not winning based on your overall feeling towards that manager, right or wrong?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Okay, so when a Man United fan turns around and
different league, different
players,
so, all that, yeah.
Wait.
And sometimes managers go stale, Terry.
Wait. So when a Man United fan looks at Ten Hag's past, what he has won, where he has coached, his style of football, if they like his attitude and behaviors, and they look at the fact that he won a trophy last year and improved us, when they turn around and ignore some of his flaws, like you ignoring Simeone being a puppet like every other manager and not winning the league for 3 years in this hypothetical scenario, you call those fans out for lowering the standards because they believe in somebody. That is where I challenge you, is that you would do the same thing that I'm doing for Ten Hag for a manager you rate. So therefore, it isn't about behaviors. It isn't even about winning. It's about your personal subjective feelings towards a manager. And you, Lee Gunner, have absolutely just been found out because you've just proven it.
You're trying to make up for the loss you had earlier. Yeah.
In this stream, you have said Man United fans should discount what Ten Hag did last year because it's irrelevant. At the same time, you're saying if your favourite manager that you like, Simeone, doesn't win for 3 years, you would. That doesn't matter because he's got a winning CV in the background because you like him. It's very hypocritical what you just said, Lee. 100%.
Because guess what?
Found out.
Not from. Well, you can take that as a win. You got cooked for about an hour, mate. So we're good. Yeah. The fact of reality is, Ten Hag won at Man United last season. Cool. So his CV at Man United: 1 season, 1 trophy. Well done. Yeah, that's the aim of the game, to win trophies. But now that don't matter, mate. Yeah, and Man United, Fergie has openly said before. Yeah, well done. I think it was after the treble. Yeah, we've won the treble. We're going to party. We're going to celebrate. But that don't matter next season. We go again. Yeah. And why did Man United keep winning? Because they didn't care about what they did last season. Let's now do it again. But that was at Man United. That was at that club. Simeone Atleti, doing it year in, year out. But if Simeone goes stale, like Klopp's gone stale at Liverpool, doesn't mean I wouldn't take him at my club because he might not be stale at my club. But guess what? If he comes to my club, and he don't do it, you're sacked.
So Lee, so you think Ten Hag's gone stale already at Man United?
Where did I say that?
So, but that your reason for not allowing what you've just said is that you can't use Ten Hag's previous season at Man United if he's gone stale. Going to a new club is different.
Ten Hag's gone stale.
Okay, so why can't I use last season and his CV and what I like about him as a barometer to support him, even if there's things he's done that I don't like?
I've been saying this season, otherwise.
But that's the same for every manager. But the way you're talking about Ten Hag on this whole show is like he's been failing for years. He hasn't.
Not at all. If that's how you've perceived it, that's on you, mate.
You talk about him being a puppet and a liar, and a puppet and a liar.
He is a liar and a puppet.
Why are you angry at him if he's been achieving what he's meant to achieve in winning? You've said earlier that if they're winning, you don't call them out for it, but you do with Ten Hag. Why the inconsistency?
Because it's Man United. It's not Ajax. Ajax are a big club. Don't get it twisted. But it's Man United.
What's that got to do with anything?
You're the biggest club in England. You've got the
and
biggest
we want to win, and he wants to win. We are trying to win. But we're trying to win contextually. We have to put it into context.
You're trying to win.
I'm not disagreeing with you that he has to be successful or he will lose his job. My point to you is
where do you think
Lee, that's we'll get to that in a minute. The point I'm talking about is that you pick and choose what I said about your unrealistic expectations. What we've discovered in this conversation is your standards and your bearings around what is and isn't acceptable for managers behaviorally and in terms of winning and in terms of looking back at CVs or not, or their past, is based upon your own subjective feelings for them and not an objective view of what's right and wrong, acceptable and unacceptable. You literally said it.
Ten Hag won at Man United last season. Well done. He won. Forget that. Yeah, because that was last season. Nobody cares about last season. It's about this season, yeah? Right?
We do care about last season. Of course we do. Of course we care about last season.
That's why your club's buried, mate. That's why my club's buried.
No, but it isn't.
Look at what he's done for the club.
But you're missing that. No, listen, I'm not saying he can get away with failing because of last season. What I am saying is I have faith in him to deliver because he's delivered before.
Okay, that's cool.
You're calling me out for supporting my manager after
Where
3
have I
games.
argued that? You've had a mare today, mate.
Then why are you challenging what I'm saying? Then this is my point. Why are you challenging it? How am I lowering my club standards?
You're challenging me.
Then where have I lowered my club standards?
If Simeone doesn't win this season,
right,
I'd sack him if I was their board, and I'd take him at Arsenal. You then challenged me on that by saying, yeah, but he's failed for 3 years. It ain't in my club, is it?
I challenged you on it.
It ain't in my club, is it?
I challenged you earlier on because you said what a manager has won in the past is irrelevant when you're judging him now. So my question just was...
At your club.
You said at your club. And then my question is, which you haven't still answered, why can't I judge what he's done at my club? And you said, well, if they've gone stale, you can't. You then said, Ten Hag isn't stale. So you've... No. Exactly.
You're making up it's mental gymnastics.
You said if a manager's gone stale at a club, you can't use what they've won in the past, but they could do well elsewhere, right?
Yeah, because Klopp's gone stale at Liverpool, and I'll take him at Arsenal in a heartbeat.
Yes. So, Ten Hag, has he gone stale?
No, I never said he did.
So I can use what he's done in the past to that's how I think he's going to do now.
But at the same time, there's levels, right? There's levels because it's Man United. You're the biggest club in England. Right. Winning a League Cup, cool, fantastic. First season, brilliant. Put that in the trophy cabinet with the rest of the trophies. But you better title challenge and win it. Yeah, mate, and if you don't win a major, let me finish. I've
got the same expectations. So we're
not. So let me ask you a question.
You're challenging me with things that I'm not fighting about. We're not talking about that. That isn't the debate. That's not the debate. The debate is 1 minute you're saying
you want it to be, so you can.
No, it isn't. No, because at what point have I said to you, are we been debating my standards for the manager this season? That's not been this conversation. This conversation has been about your standards you hold managers to behaviorally and in terms of success. And in this conversation, 1 minute you say you can't take anything they've won in the past into consideration. No, the next minute you say they yes, you did. You turned around and said,
I said, forget trophies for a minute. I know exactly what I said. I said, forget trophies for a minute. What are you doing for my club? Simeone's at Atleti, yeah? I don't really care about that club. It ain't my club. But I can see what he's won. I can see what he's doing. I can see where he's got to and how he's broken into the two biggest clubs in the world and made a problem for him. Yeah, and nicked 9 trophies in the process, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that if he don't win for 3 years, I don't want him at my club.
So, I respect that. I asked you about that, and I've listened to it and I've accepted it. And I've said to you, I agree with that. We don't need to go through that again. You said earlier about managers lying and being puppets, that unless they win, it bothered you, essentially, right? I'm paraphrasing, but you said it bothered you. I then said, but my manager won last year. And you said, yes, but that was last year. He hasn't won this year yet. Yep. So it's like, okay, so you picking and choosing when a manager's previous...
choosing, you're just not understanding.
No, I am. And I'm asking you to explain it. I'm not understanding.
Then when I do, you cut me off.
Because you don't let me finish questions. 1 minute, you're allowing someone's past to be part of the way you view them as a manager. But Ten Hag is a lying scumbag to Man United fans, but he won last year. But that doesn't make sense.
But you've got a lying winning manager. But winning.
But you said that. Wait. Why are you calling it out then? Because you said that's acceptable.
Because we were talking about Man United. So I'm calling out your manager for being a lying bastard.
Again, why would you call a manager out for a behavior that you said is acceptable? That doesn't make sense.
No, it don't make sense to you because you don't get it, because you don't listen long enough. He won last season and he's lied through his teeth since he's got there. But he won, so it's acceptable, which is why your fans... Wait. Can I finish what I'm saying? Can I finish?
But why mention it? Just answer me that. Why mention it? But just why you mentioned it then?
Because we were talking about managers lying.
But we're talking about problems. We're talking about problems at football clubs. We were talking about Man United's problems in the transfer market. If you don't think him lying is a problem because he's a winning liar, you wouldn't bring it up. But you think it's a problem. But you've contradicted yourself, Lee.
It is a problem because they're all liars, Terry. They're all liars. Okay.
If they all lie and it's standard...
2 seconds and I get cut off again.
If they're all liars and it's a standard, why are you only singling out one manager for lying?
Because we were talking about your club and he's the manager of your club.
I understand that, but when you're praising other managers, you're not like, I like Simeone's football, but he's a fucking liar. I don't want him lying to me. And if Simeone was at your club, I guarantee you, when Simeone's at your club, win, lose or draw, you will not call out his PR stuff because you like him. And this is what it comes down to, Lee.
I called it out. If you like someone,
Lee, if you like someone, you don't say shit. If you dislike them, You get all emotional
Let's get the
about it.
violins out for Terry. I called Simeone out over the whole Felix deal, mate.
Of course you did.
Yeah?
Of course you did.
Well, I did it on this show.
You still want him, but yet you think Man United fans should be calling for Ten Hag to be sacked, and we're only 3 games into the season.
Where did I say that? Again,
You said he should be. You said he should have been sacked last year for losing 7-0.
Yeah, he should have.
But he's winning. He won a trophy.
Yeah, but that was
So
after the 7-0 call.
So again, so it ain't about winning trophies.
If you lose 7-0 to if Arsenal lose 7-0 to Tottenham, I'd expect him sacked that night.
Fine.
If Tottenham lose 7-0 to Arsenal, I'd expect their manager.
So you agree? So you're changing again. It's not just about winning trophies.
Can I talk or not?
It's either about winning trophies or it isn't, Lee. You keep changing your mind.
Can I finish or not? Right?
Go on.
People in this chat are going to go, oh, but Jose lost 5-0 to Barcelona. Yeah, he should have been sacked.
Yeah.
He should have been sacked. Yeah, they didn't sack him. And then he went on to win the league with a record-breaking goals tally. Yeah, which is still a record in La Liga, by the way, but he plays negative football, right? If Real Madrid had lost 7-0, he's getting sacked. 5-0 wasn't the cutoff. Clearly.
I understand that. So can I?
And he's only just got the job. Your manager has been there for longer.
Who's just got the job?
Jose had only just got the job. It was like October. He'd been there since August. Yeah. So 2 months in, they allowed him. They shouldn't have allowed him because he should have been sacked. 5-0 to Barca. You should have been panned.
So just so I'm understanding you, it isn't just about winning trophies. It's about the style of results, behaviours. It's all inclusive. Okay.
No, you just love to shout waffle, mate.
That's not waffle. You just said it, Lee.
No, not at all. I didn't just say that.
You just said. Hang on, no, I didn't. Did you not just say he should have been sacked for losing 7-0, even though he won a trophy?
Yeah.
So
because he hadn't won the trophy at the 7-0, so stop making up scenarios that didn't exist.
We hadn't won what?
He had not won the trophy when you lost 7-0. He won that afterwards.
Right.
Yeah. So at that point at 7-0, stop. Okay. So at that point at 7-0, the biggest defeat in your club's history to your biggest rivals, you can Google it all you like, mate. It was after you won the cup after that, right? He should have been sacked at that point. Cool. You didn't sack him and then he went and won the trophy. Cool. But at that point, he should have been sacked. Biggest defeat in your history. If you're the worst in your company for the entire lifetime of the company, yeah, and then you get another go next week, what does that tell you?
Lee, this is the thing. You should never talk about Man United. You don't know what you're talking about. Man United beat Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final on the 26th of February. We lost to Liverpool on the 5th of March. So you're wrong. Again, you're talking about my club. And you're wrong. I don't know who gives you your Man United education. Whoever again, but this is the thing. You say I'm lying and putting words in your mouth, and I'm never doing that. This is why I get angry, Lee, because I try to understand what you're saying and repeat it back to you.
You get angry because you make up scenarios in your head.
No, you said it.
Put words in my mouth that don't exist.
No, I don't. You literally said,
Lee, lies.
You're lying, Lee. You literally said
that
he should have been sacked. You said it, but you turned around and said that he should be sacked for losing 7-0. Then all I said to you, this is not a dig. It isn't just about winning trophies. It's about results and behaviors as well. And you go, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. That's not putting words in your mouth. It's because you contradict yourself, Lee. You contradict yourself because you said what you just said. It goes back to the original point. You set these utopian standards. 1 minute you say it's just about trophies, but then when someone you don't like loses a bad game or does something in the press you don't like, that's also a reason to sack them, even if they're winning trophies. You're like the rest of us. You think it's multi-layered. Lee, you think it's multi-layered why a manager should be sacked, but you don't like to admit that because if it's only about trophies, that way you can have a go at people you dislike, but you pick and choose your standards to suit your own agenda.
Terry, I genuinely couldn't give 2 fucks about Man United. Ain't my club. But the fact of the reality is, the biggest defeat in your club's history, whether he won that trophy a week earlier or not, is irrelevant. Yeah. He has just put your club into the biggest defeat ever in your club's
I agree. He did.
History, right?
He did.
He should have been sacked.
He did. So again, we do agree. So your opinion is it isn't just about winning trophies; it's about the manner of defeats you get as well to determine whether you keep the job or not.
Sorry, how many? No, because again, you're making up. And wait, because again, you're making. No, because again, let me finish and answer the question.
Oh my God!
I can't finish I can't give you an answer unless you let me talk. Yeah. If the club has been dragged to its biggest defeat ever, and it is the biggest embarrassment in your entire club's history, forget the trophies. Yes. But how many times in your 140 odd year history have you lost 7-0 to Liverpool?
We haven't. So that.
Thank you. Okay,
fine.
Stop.
I agree.
Stop. My context.
I'm not fighting you, Lee.
Cut me off again.
Because we don't need to go down this road.
No, because we don't need to. Because I'm giving you context that's counter-argument.
I don't need context. You just agreed with me. I don't need context. I understand.
This guy, man.
I don't need context, Lee. I don't need context.
The next week,
I don't need context.
7-0. Your biggest defeat ever in your entire history.
Okay,
wait,
I agree.
Wait. Can I finish then? Wait. You were the biggest club in England getting pammed 7-0. 7. Forget the League Cup, mate. You're sacked.
Okay. So you agree with me.
But if it was Brighton losing 7-0 to Palace, and they've not won anything, I understand they probably won't sack.
Okay.
There's levels. You're a massive football club, Brighton.
Again. So what you are saying, just confirm it, yes or no for me. So what you are saying, it's not just about trophies. It's the manner of defeats the managers can take as well.
Draw me into a whole thing.
No.
It depends on the situation and the size of the club. Yeah.
Yes.
If
the manner of your defeat,
I know the manner of defeat. We've seen Tottenham win 9-0 against Wigan. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 9-0. Did Wigan sack their manager the next day?
Can I rephrase it then? Maybe you'll prefer this.
They sacked their manager the next day.
I don't know if they did. I know they refunded the fan.
They didn't. They didn't. But if it was Man United losing weight,
what happens, Lee? It's not Lee. Stop, please. This isn't about what doesn't happen. I'm asking about your standards. So let me rephrase it because maybe you prefer this. So what you're saying is sacking managers is not just about winning. It's also the magnitude of defeats you also suffer.
To a certain degree, yeah, but we're talking 0.1%, Terry. So if you think that's a big win for you, cool.
No, it's not a big win for me.
Because you haven't answered any of the questions I've just put to you, and you've asked me another 2.
What questions?
I just asked you, about Wigan. Did Wigan sack the manager? You said no. No, it's not irrelevant because this is where you don't get context. Yeah,
I don't need context. I'm asking your opinion, not what Wigan did.
Yeah, but you're asking my opinion on the whole spectrum of football.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying that you've said before, if managers win trophies, they shouldn't be sacked unless they suffer a massive defeat. Right?
Okay, but now again, that is the whole globe of football clubs, yeah? Because you haven't singled out individual clubs.
So let me phrase it again then. So a manager should keep his job if he wins a trophy, but if he suffers a massive defeat based on the standard
in the club's history.
Okay, so so the biggest defeat in their history, then they should be sacked still. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes. So if Wigan win the League Cup and then the next week they go and lose to Huddersfield, local rival, go and lose 7-0, I would expect the Wigan manager to get sacked. But you're doing it in terms of the whole spectrum of football. If they suffer a big defeat,
no, that isn't what I mean. That isn't what I mean. No, that isn't what I mean.
And you're not listening again.
But the thing is, Lee, the question you should be asking me is, what do you mean by suffer a big defeat? And I would say, a huge defeat.
We know what suffer a big defeat because I brought up your 7-0.
The reason I'm challenging it, Lee, the reason I'm challenging it is because you sit on these shows and say winning is all that matters, but then you come up with, and you've done it today about 10 times, you've come up with multiple other reasons why managers can be sacked. So it isn't just about winning. We agree.
Terry.
We agree.
No, we don't agree. Because
we do agree. How?
Again, you're putting words in my mouth. It's the size and the stature of your football club, and the size of the defeat in terms of the biggest ever in your history to your local rivals.
I understand that, Lee.
Okay, but you're trying to shoot.
You don't need to explain it.
Okay, read the signature. I'm bored,
Lee,
Lee,
I get what you're saying. I don't need to explain it.
You don't, because you're trying to make it the whole spectrum of football.
No, I'm not. You're interpreting it that way.
So it doesn't just matter about trophies. It matters about big defeats. No, no context there whatsoever. You're Man United, the biggest club in England. You've got pammed the biggest defeat in your history, after winning a cup. See, that is not the same. No, wait, that is not the same as Wigan losing 9-0 to Tottenham.
I totally agree.
So there we go. So why are you trying to shoehorn it into the same box?
I'm not trying to do that. You're saying I'm doing that. That isn't what I'm saying.
Mad.
I haven't said that. And where have I said?
Go on, do it. I'm going out in a minute anyway.
Lee, tell me where I said. Tell me where I said Man United losing 7-0 to Liverpool is the same as Wigan getting beat 9-0. Where did I say that?
You didn't say the exact words, but the way you were saying it was.
You misinterpret the exact words. You do this a lot, Lee. You misinterpret what I'm saying. You don't ask what I'm saying and why.
Well, I'm just making a point.
You have done this on so many shows before.
You cut me off. I do it.
On so many shows. You've given multiple reasons why managers should be sacked that are not just about losing big games. It's about not winning, behaviors. Exactly. So my point is, all I'm saying is, Lee,
you were trying to shoehorn everyone in the same box.
I'm not. There's context to everything. But again, that's the whole point. It isn't just about winning. And you've said that so many times.
Terry, if you get the biggest defeat in your club's history a week after winning a trophy,
I'm not disagreeing.
That is the worst defeat in 100. No, let me finish. Worst defeat in 140 odd years of Man United existing.
Yeah.
But he won the League Cup the week before. Nobody cared because guess what? No, let me finish. Because it's Manchester. No, so let the viewers get it. Because it's Manchester United. It's Manchester United.
Yes.
Yeah. The standards of Manchester United. We don't care that you just won that last week. You have just given us the worst result in our history in 140 years of our football club. That is unacceptable. See you later. But if it's Wigan, that haven't won the League Cup the week before and get panned 9-0 to Tottenham, it don't matter because it's Wigan. That's my point. But you were trying to box everyone in the same box.
Lee, yes, I wasn't. I wasn't. But Lee, I wasn't. I never said that.
You never said them exact words.
Lee, exactly. So don't say I said it when I didn't.
You said it don't just matter about trophies. It's about big defeats as well, which is boxing. Well, it ain't just about big defeats.
I said
because otherwise the Wigan manager would have got sacked after the 9-0.
We're talking about teams that win. So this is what I'm saying to you. On this stream
so now we're talking about teams that win and not all teams.
Of course we are. We're talking about the teams that win. Because what you've said is, of course, we're talking about teams that win. Because what you have said before is the only thing that matters in football is winning in terms of keeping a manager his job. But you keep coming up with multiple examples. Embarrassing defeats, biggest defeats ever.
No, I'm not saying embarrassing defeats. I'm talking the biggest defeat in your club's history, not embarrassing defeats. Biggest defeat in your club's history, sack.
Lee, but you have sat on this show before and spoke before that 7-0 and spoke about the goals we conceded against Brentford, the goals we conceded against Man City when we lost 6-3, and spoke about those things should contribute towards him losing his job. You said those things as well. This is the point, Lee. I'm not trying to put you into a box. I'm trying to understand you. I ask you questions and you get angry. Let's do these super chats, though, please. Trophies are the only matters. Should be sacked for a scoreline. You can only have one or the other. Legend, but had a mare is what the tie box says here.
Big up tie.
Drinks for context. I'm buzzing already. Thanks, Colton. Pep should have been sacked after losing to Spurs in the Champions League.
See, this is the thing. The amount of people, especially Arsenal fans, that go on about Pep should have been sacked. Why? Why should Pep be sacked? Pep's got a proven track record, of winning at every club he's been at, which is cool. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win at the club you're at. He finishes. He finishes. He finishes fourth in his first season. The next season, he wins the title. So it's irrelevant whether he loses to Tottenham. Nobody cares. He won the league.
Again, this is what some Man United fans would challenge you with. Now, no one's comparing Ten Hag to Pep. But if they have faith in Ten Hag because of his past and what he's won and what they think he's going to do, as much as they're angry about that defeat, some people would say, well, I'm going to overlook that because I think we'll improve and go on to another levels and win more trophies.
Which is why Man United are buried.
But no, because at the same time, this is the point. That's because you're subjectively looking. But that's because you don't. Would you say that? So if this season, let me ask you a question. If this season Simeone was to suffer the biggest defeat in Atletico Madrid's history, would you then not want him as your manager?
That's irrelevant because it's a different football club.
No, it can't be. Let me tell you why it can't be, though, Lee. Because you said earlier that Ten Hag hasn't gone stale at Man United. So other than going stale, why can't we use his past and our feelings towards him to overlook the worst defeat ever, like you would do with Simeone?
He should have been sacked after the 7-0, the biggest defeat in your history. If Simeone has the biggest defeat in history to Real Madrid this season, in the Madrid derby, and he loses the biggest defeat ever in their history, he should be sacked on the spot. But guess what? I would still take him at Arsenal, the same as I still take Klopp at Arsenal, even though they've gone stale at that club, because it ain't my club. Now come and do it at my club, and if you don't do it at my club, you're sacked.
Okay, but if
I think you're better than this guy.
But if a Man United fans don't think Ten Hag's stale and he can recover from that point, why is it wrong for them to not want him sacked?
Say that again.
So why is it wrong to not want him to be sacked if you think the levels are still going to go up?
Because there's no proof other than winning that one trophy, which is called the aim of the game. 4-0 to Brentford, 4-0 to Brighton. Only manager in Premier League history, and the first manager in Man United history to be losing 4-0 at halftime twice in the same season.
Okay, so
right?
you
Lost the biggest defeat ever. You asked me a question, I'm giving you the answer.
And I get it. So
I
my question,
can't answer it.
Lee, but you've listed a few things, and I want
I've
to
listed
challenge you
2
on
things,
them.
which is part of the answer of the 5, 6, 7 things. I can't answer it.
So Ten
Terry,
Hag's
wrap it up, man. I'm bored.
So Ten Hag's past is now out the window because of what happened last season.
I'm mad. Whatever makes you happy, mate.
You just contradict it. That's why I interject you, Lee, because you have a different.
Because I was going down a route of listing 5, 6 reasons as to why that should be an issue for your fans. But you cut me off after the first one.
None of that circumvents the point that why those things are issues. But you could, I guarantee you could find a lot of big defeats or bad defeats over the last 5, 6, 7 years of Simeone. I bet you could if you went and looked. He's probably had a good few games where he conceded a lot of goals or collapsed. You know, I've seen them 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead in the Champions League and then go out with a Ronaldo hat-trick and everything else. You've seen bad results and bad moments that you could label towards people, but you would still look at the manager's CV.
Juventus. We're talking about Juventus, the old lady, the biggest club in Italy. Yeah, we're not talking about Brighton and Brentford, mate.
No, I understand that, but then what you're also taking out of context is what he inherited and what he's been trying to build up from there.
Oh, he inherited a mess. Fucking hell. No wonder our clubs are finished, mate. Honestly.
But this is the thing. You go straight back. I didn't say it's about not. I didn't turn around and say I'm happy to stay where we are. This is where you're not listening.
Look at what Postecoglou's inherited. How has he got a bunch of average footballers, and they are average because they're crap? How has he got them dominating every football match and scoring goals left, right, and centre? Having sold the best player, because you get a performance level, you can coach players better, you can have a different system. Yeah, ultimately they won't win anything, and he will be sacked. But the style of play, and you're talking about, but he inherited this. Nobody cares. It's Man United, mate.
Okay, so so context doesn't. Just final question on Ten Hag. So context doesn't matter for Ten Hag. But for everything else, it does.
I've never said that. If you want to believe that's what I've said.
But in my opinion, Lee, by saying it doesn't matter what he inherited, you're removing context.
But you're removing my answers because you cut me off. I was giving you context a minute ago.
The reason I interject. Lee, the reason I interject is because you're going down a route that doesn't circumvent the point. So I stop it because I don't want to hear it. Because
exactly,
the point,
you don't like context.
No, I don't want. No, it's not context. I don't want to hear
my opinion. I try to give my opinion.
I know the things.
Lee,
but this is the thing, though, Lee. You've just given a list of reasons. This is what you've done. You just listed a series of reasons as to why, even though
I listed 2 results.
Okay, you listed 2 results and the 7-0 as reasons as to why, even with the trophy, the manager should be sacked. 5 minutes ago, you
finished the rest of it.
And you'll probably put and you'll put loads of other things in there. But you're not. We all know what happened last season.
You want to hear the lots of other things, which gives my opinion and my context to what my argument.
Straight away, you hypocrisize yourself. Straight away.
No, you just don't like hearing what I'm saying.
Straight away, Lee. It's nothing to do with that. It's because you hypocrisize yourself. You hypocrisize yourself. You become a hypocrite. Because a few minutes ago, when I said, so it isn't just winning that matters, it's bad results or embarrassing results, you go, no, it's only results. Hang on. Lee, no, I'm not. I'm just you turn around and said it's only the worst result in your club's history. Then when I say, well, what about fans that have more faith in him than that? You then start listing off other bad results. So other bad results do constitute towards sacking a manager. And when I said that's what you think, you told me I was putting words in your mouth. I can't, Lee, it's such hypocrisy. It's crazy. It's crazy, bruv. Let's do these super chats, bruv, anyway. Lee, I know you gave Arteta a chance, but these team selection treatments of Gabriel, Emil Smith-Rowe, Arteta, control freak, get him out ASAP.
I prefer not to speak. Yeah, they're going to get a rude awakening this season, mate.
Big up, Lee. Lee, you are doing a watch along. Are you doing a watch along tonight?
No, the game kicks off about 50 minutes ago.
What game's that?
Al Ahly, Mahrez FC, Firmino FC.
Oh,
Vega.
no. I thought they meant the. I think they meant the Carabao Cup games.
No, he meant the.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Lee, in your opinion, who has the best midfield in the league other than Man City?
Probably Chelsea if they get Nkunku fit.
Lee, you wake up with 50k subs or work
80k
to get there. 80k subs or work to get there.
What's
did you wake up with 80k subs or did you work to get there?
What's that got to do with anything?
I think he's basically saying, as a Brighton fan, it looks like that you can't just wake up and suddenly start acting like the big boys. You've got to grow to get there.
Yeah, spend the other 280 million profit you've made, mate. How about that?
Yeah. Forest is bigger than Arsenal, according to Lee. Do you believe that?
Put your trophies on the table. Yes, they've won 2 Champions Leagues back to back. Total trophies, nowhere near.
Leave Lee alone. He's the GOAT. End of debate. I love
Okay.
Lee. He's great. I love fighting with him.
Mate, this has been epic. I can't lie.
That's not me. That's Peter Kratzweight. We've done that one. Keep waffling, Lee. You're jealous of other channels.
Oh,
I don't
super
think
mate. I'm super jealous.
too many Gooners deluded. KSC latch on and it goes on a loop. Lee is right. We don't demand enough. Most Gooners reckon KSC are good because of one season. Because Lee would never be happy if we win the league. He would say we should have won everything.
Again, comes back to what I said earlier. Do it, and we're seeing it.
When we win a trophy this year, you will be. Will you back Arteta or keep hating? Disagree with you mostly, but you crack me up. Peace.
If he wins the trophy, he stays in the job.
Yeah.
Would you back him? No. So now you're putting well. Would you back him?
No, I'm not. The question was, would you back him?
Oh, I don't back him at all. He's useless. But if he
So
gets a trophy, cool. Yeah, just go back to my watch along. One of the most viewed videos on my channel when we won the FA Cup with Terrace.
This is what I mean.
Again,
that was just the guy's question. Yes or no? Would you back him?
Again, I can't answer it because you keep cutting me off. Go back to my watch along when we won the FA Cup and look how happy I was. He nicks a trophy. Nick a trophy, I'm happy.
Lee, that wasn't. Listen, the question was, would you back him? The answer is yes or no.
I won't back him. No.
There we go. Just say no then. Arsenal's longest title drought was 1860 trophy drought.
Another Arsenal fan that hasn't got a clue about the history of our football club.
Lee may not live in Disneyland, but he's a resident of Dreamland. One draw and it's over, I guess, outside a shotty finish and a few individual errors. We've been more dominant than last year, talking about Arsenal.
Cool. No reason not to win the league then, mate.
Lee only speaks facts when he refers to failures. I like that. Lee, your life is amazing, yet you're miserable. You are a fraud and a liar. I love watching you waffling when things don't go as you predict. Disgrace.
Cool. My factual information don't care about your emotions, mate.
Which Champions League did those failures behind him win for Arsenal?
Well, Thierry Henry didn't win anything at Arsenal Champions League-wise, neither did Bergkamp. But
yeah,
it's what it is. Yeah,
my life is amazing, mate. I would believe it if Lee let out a smile. Lee has got a good life. Lee is happy, people. Trust me.
I am extremely happy.
That gold King the Egg trophy was a commercial stunt to promote the Premier League. They lied to you, Arsenal fans. 20 years of shirt sales and 0 titles.
This guy speaks facts, by the way.
Lee takes most of his 20-year frustration out on Arteta. I'll agree with that a little bit. Glazonomics letting Ten Hag down like all before him. Scum.
Yeah, he shouldn't have took the job then.
Partly. Lee was a puppet for a season when he lost the league to Liverpool.
Here we go. See, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, like these people, how many times do I have to sit here and say, if you lose the league and you're a big club, yeah, or a club with Pep and Klopp, and you lose the title, I've said to you many, many times on here with thousands of people watching, if Klopp don't win nothing this season, sack him. I would have personally sacked him already. Yeah, but you give him another go. Cool. Yeah, same with Pep. Yeah, what, 1 year without a trophy is Pep.
I think this show has been legendary. I absolutely agree. If Roma don't win a trophy this season, should Jose be sacked?
Yep.
If Arsenal win the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, do you want Arteta to stay?
I don't want him to stay anyway, but if he nicks some cups, yeah.
As we said, people, in Lee's opinion, winning trophies isn't the only reason to not sack someone.
Win the title. 20 fucking years. We smashed the stadium down for
context, people.
We smashed the stadium down to be like Real Madrid. Be like Real Madrid and I'll shut up.
Lee has a YouTube stream €4 to feed Spanish lifestyle. Well, it's called a job, bruv. I'm not going to have a guy in for that. Lee, denounce Arsenal and support Real Madrid. You can't do that.
I support our athlete, mate, yeah. They've got better players than Arsenal.
Someone told Mike Tyson what they felt about him, and the dude ended up in hospital. Sometimes you have to lie. I agree, you do. Lee, I've never seen you disagree with Ransom Bants.
Yeah, well, maybe go back to the stream where you lost 7-0 then, mate. Yeah, go back to that stream, innit? Yeah, and I said he should have been sacked.
Lee is the only man to make Terry snap live on air. True. Him and Igao. I've told you before, Lee Gunner and Igao are the same person on different ends of the spectrum, but the same people. Terry will go. Sorry, you will go crazy. You will go crazy trying to rationalize Lee's derailments. I agree with having standards, but what Lee is describing break the laws of logic. They don't. But they contradict each other all the time. And all I ever try and do is understand it.
They only contradict each other because there's different levels and size of football clubs and expectations for the size of the clubs. So you can't put Wigan there in the same bracket after losing 9-0 to Tottenham because they didn't win the League Cup before that. And even if he should have been sacked, but he wasn't sacked. But if it's Man United,
I agree.
The history and tradition and the size of the club, sack.
So I totally agree with. So does that logic that you can't compare Wigan to Man United count when it compares to
exactly what you're going to say. So we win the league.
So hang on a minute. So again, this is not me challenging you. This is me understanding you. So don't fight back. So when it comes to individual results, you can't compare a team Wigan size to Man United. But when it comes to challenging for the league, you can compare Brighton to Man City.
Yeah, Brighton have made 280 million profit. Spend the money, win the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice quick answer to a question so I understand. And I don't challenge after that. See, done. Lee, can you put the Galacticos on your background? Maybe. Lovely Gunner, true facts. Big up, Lee. Someone has won significantly more at Atletico than Eric Ten Hag has at United. Of course, Diego has more rope. And Daryl, I completely and utterly agree that he has even more rope. So again, this is the thing, Daryl. I'm only trying to understand. And I'm only trying to understand. I think you remember when I'm challenging, I'm not challenging looking for a universal answer we all agree with. All I'm ever trying to ascertain is what Lee's brain is thinking. So I don't care what Wigan did do. I don't care what you. I do care what you think, Daryl. But when I'm asking Lee a question, so if the point is Ten Hag can have the same leeway as Simeone when he's won as many league titles in a league as high as him, then I'd give him the faith. Then I would say that's fair because you're setting a standard that is universal and concrete and undebatable. Then I wouldn't challenge it. I'd leave the conversation and go, that makes sense. But when it's wishy-washy and it chops and changes for different people and there's no logical outset, which is because Ten Hag's never won a major league title in one of the top 2 or 3 leagues, therefore I challenge it because I'm like, hang on, so why can't I think this if you think that? So if you make a resounding statement, which is for me, when I said before, I'll give you an example. You are not a great manager until you've either won multiple Champions Leagues and or back-to-back league titles. You've got to have done one of those 2 things to be a great manager, in my opinion. It's a universal statement that you can challenge and not agree with, but you understand it thoroughly. But if I chopped and changed and said, Arteta said that Jose is a great manager because he's done the Champions League and back-to-backs, and then said, and you have to win that, but then I also call Wenger a great manager, and then I call Moyes a great manager, suddenly it's like, hang on a minute, your level of great is changing. That's what I would say. That's not a dig at you, Lee. I'm just saying to Daryl, that's why I challenge it, because I'm trying to understand how and why you think the way you do. Lee has Haaland conversion rate. Sorry, Terry has Haaland conversion rate today. Lee moving like Kai Havertz. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, I did anything. Terry, you're a legend. You always catch Lee's bullshit. And again, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not trying to catch bullshit. When I got angry today, put my hands up, I shouldn't have done. Wrong. But I got angry because I'm not trying to catch Lee out. I'm trying to understand him or get his opinion on something. And what Lee does, and it does wind me up, is fight back. And I'm like, I'm not trying to fucking fight Lee. I'm just trying to.
No, you don't let me talk. That winds me up. Yeah, you ask a question, and then I try to answer the question, and you go down 5 different roads, and I forget the first question.
I get you. But okay, I get that. Terry, Lee, repeat after me. I just don't like Ten Hag. I think that's true. Klopp won 2 cups 1 season ago, and you're saying he's done?
He is done. He's gone stale, and he's a puppet for the football club. Yeah, and watch when Liverpool win nothing this season. Yeah, the fans are already on the edge anyway. They're ready to say Klopp out. If they had lost to Newcastle, it would have been Klopp out.
Stop watching to eat lunch. Legit thought I paused and was live. Has the same argument been going on for an hour? Now, we can change it. Arteta should have been sacked the moment he suggested signing Kai Havertz. Keep up the great content, guys. Thank you, Hugh. Kevin here says, forgetting trophies for a minute, Arteta has turned Arsenal into a contender whilst building the most valuable squad in the world, according to Transfer Market.
Well done. Yeah, pretty trophies on the table. He's got one.
I totally understand where Lee is coming from. I understand where Lee's coming from. But if any of these puppets win the league title, his whole theory's done.
Well,
Terry
kept winning it again.
That isn't what I said, though, is it? Lee got caught in 4K. Yikes. I said if Pep loses 7-0 to Man United tomorrow, we're not playing tomorrow.
No,
so yeah,
you do. You say, if that their biggest defeat in their history? If it is, sack him. What's Man City's biggest defeat?
Man United's biggest defeat wasn't 7-0. We got beat bigger years back, but not against our rivals.
No, that's what I'm saying. Against your rival. Yeah, biggest defeat against your rival. Biggest defeat to Man United is probably about 7-0
versus Man United. Let me put this in: biggest defeat versus Man United, Man City's.
It's probably about 7. Yeah, it probably is 7 or 8.
5-1. So if we beat him 6-1, does he get sacked?
Well, yeah, it's the biggest defeat in their history. See you later against the rivals.
I do not believe. See, this is what I mean. I do not believe that you believe that.
They won't sack him, but he should be sacked.
Yeah, I don't think you
if
believe.
If he loses 6-1 to Man United, he should be sacked.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes, he should. It's the how long's Man City been formed? 100 odd years.
Should Fergie have been sacked? Should Fergie have been
in your history to
that club? Should Fergie have been sacked when he lost 6-1 to City?
Yeah. Same as Wenger. Wenger should have been sacked fucking when we lost 8-2.
Yeah, but you're already done by then. This here says, here are some stats for the stream, Terry. So saying Lee over 80 times, XG 3.5. Lee saying Terry over times, XG is 3.01. Great debate so far. I've enjoyed it. Best show I've seen in a while. Legendary. Thank you, Travis. Simeone lost the two biggest matches in Atletico Madrid's history. The Champions League final, both to their biggest rival, sack him. So he's had their biggest 2 defeats in their club's history and lost 2 Champions League finals. So have you been advocating for him to be sacked since all that's happened? Hold
on. Slow down. 2 biggest defeats in Atleti's history, sack. Losing the Champions League final ain't a sackable offence.
Okay.
Especially when you're going up against Real Madrid.
Is it a sackable offence? Is it a sackable offence?
100% sack.
So this season, would it be a sackable offence for Ten Hag if he comes third in the league, 10 points off top, doesn't win a domestic trophy, but loses the Champions League final? Is that sackable then?
Yeah, because you ain't won nothing.
So the seasons that Athlete didn't win.
United. Hold on, because you're holding. Again, this is where you go down a different rabbit hole.
I'm trying to understand.
Atletico Madrid are not the biggest club in Spain.
Okay.
Real Madrid faster than the Super. But Man United are the biggest in England. Different standards, Terry.
So what you're saying is Man United, if they win nothing and lose a Champions League final, sack the manager. The club Atletico side, it's acceptable not to win and lose a Champions League final.
Well, it's not acceptable, but it ain't great, and you wouldn't sack him.
It's not sackable.
Because
so again,
they're the third biggest club.
So like we've ascertained, winning trophies is not the only reason. You
have to have context to it.
Yes.
They're the third biggest club in Spain.
Yes.
Arsenal are the third biggest in England. There will be people
agree.
sitting there going, so if Arteta does that this season, would you keep Arteta? No.
Okay. So
because I've seen the sample. I've seen the sample size of Arteta, and I've seen the sample size of Simeone at Atleti. So on that basis, you keep him one more season, Arteta gets sacked.
So again, it's not just about winning trophies. It's about results. It's about the size of your club. It's about context.
Exactly. There is context.
Which is why, mate, me and you, Lee, sorry to call you out on this again, but me and you have had this debate in the last 2.5 years, 10 times, where you say sack a manager, and I say to you, but you have to put context into it. So at least now, after 2.5 years, you're agreeing sacking managers is about context. I agree completely. I want to see Hamza and Lee together. No, that'd be carnage. Couldn't do that. Lee, I love you, my goat of YouTube. When's your next watch along?
It was supposed to be an hour and 11 minutes ago. But now I'm going out, so it don't matter.
Lee rates Madrid, but doesn't have their all-time top goal scorer in his top 50 players ever.
Yeah, because he ain't a good footballer. Pretty simple.
This is my longest.
But he ain't a top footballer.
Yeah. This is the longest stream we've ever done. That's true, Hark. Predictions for Sunday. We'll do that last. Lee, sometimes it's good to hold yourself back. Nah, fuck it. It's a laugh, isn't it? Predictions for Sunday, Lee. What are you going with score predictions for the Man United game?
Right now, draw. We're both a mess. But having said that, if we don't play Thomas Partey at right back and Kivior at left back, put Thomas Partey in midfield, then I think we'll win. But you've got a new striker that's got a broken back, who's going to make his debut, and we know how that went with Rashford 7-8 years ago, whatever it was. So I don't know. We're both crap, mate. We're both defensively all over the gaff. We're both conceding goals. As it stands right now, I'd say a draw.
There we go. Listen, people, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's hit the like button, everybody that has subscribed. Back tomorrow with more content for you. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.